There we go. Now I am. How you doing, guys? Happy Friday. It's not you. It's not without its problems, is it? Alive with me. How's everybody doing? Happy Friday. Yeah, there we go. Another week over. Bit cooler this week, wasn't it? Actually, bit humid though. Sweating like a pig today, but at least it won't burning. I've got a little unpackaging in a bit. I missed them last year. I was going to get the Oktoberfest beers. I missed them. So this year I wasn't missing them. I went to a website and it was like, can we send you a reminder? I was like, yes, you can. So actually, I got them this year. So yeah, we've got a bit to talk about with Oktoberfest. Actually, I know it's a what is it? I think it's the middle. Is it the middle of September it starts? So we've got a couple of weeks up to them. But there's some really cool stuff that I've seen about Oktoberfest because I've been reading up about these beers and Oktoberfest in general, and there's some pretty cool stuff there. All to do with like the beers that, you know, the certain beers that can only be sold and stuff like that, and why. And yeah, it's pretty cool stuff. Hello, Matt Hall. Hello, Sausage. How you doing, Matt? Everything all right, mate? I haven't seen you in a little while. Everything all right? I haven't done one of these lives for a little while, have I? I've been kind of slumming it with other people. I say slumming it. That's the wrong word. On other people's lives. So yeah, I hope you're well, mate. Mersey Beers. Hello, mate. Mersey Beers. Good evening, Mark. Just finished off a couple of bit for work, working from home today, then ready for the long weekend. Yes, bank holiday. Didn't even think of that. Bank holiday weekend. And the weather's meant to be good, isn't it? Yesterday was a bit dodgy down over in normally sunny Norfolk, but yesterday was a bit rubbish. But I think we're in for a good bit of weather on the over the bank holiday. Who's this? Messaging me. Sorry, I've got my phone going. I'm trying to message. We might have Tom the Crummy Beard might come on in a bit. John might come on in a bit. I've sent them the link anyway. Should we get a beer out the fridge? What have you got, Matt Hall? You've normally got a beer in your hand. I don't know if I've got any cold ones in here though. That's the only problem. Well, I've got loads of cold ones. It's actually just selecting one that I want. I tell you what. Let's open with this. This just seems sensible. This is Marks and Spencer's Czech Pilsner Lager. I saw it. I hadn't had it before. I think it's been out a little while, but it was from the Bohemia Regent Brewery in Trebon in Czech Republic. And I looked on their website and I didn't really recognise any beers from them. So I thought, a couple of quid, it's worth a pop, isn't it? Where's my bottle opener gone? Chaos. But yeah, here we go then. Boom. Happy Friday. So yeah, the start of the week was a bit of a weird one actually. Got rather drunk on Saturday at a birthday party. Then ended up on Paul's Beer Reviews live, and we've got a little WhatsApp chat. And I sent the WhatsApp chat a little video, and it was basically me reheating a Chinese that had been left by my father-in-law about two hours prior, and that was Saturday night. And lo and behold, Monday, food poisoning. Monday, Tuesday was bad. I was off work, and then Wednesday was bad. I went to work, and then yeah, it was only yesterday where I started to feel all right. To be honest with you. It's all right. It's all right. Yeah, I don't know. Not the best. Mersey Beers, last bank holiday weekend for England until after Christmas. Yeah, it is. It is. That'll be on top of us as well. That's crazy. My year anniversary will be coming up soon, I think. November time. I'll have to have a look back when I first uploaded. But yeah, to think I've been doing YouTube for nearly, been doing this for nearly a year. Absolutely insane. Disco's in, hello, mate. He says, haha, didn't realise it was you. Thought it was a Crummy stream. Yeah, I tell you what, actually, Crummy did very kindly make me a thumbnail because I had been using, when I've been filling in the slot for Crummy, I've just been using his thumbnail. You know, he was fine with it. But I think he's made my own one now. Anyway, good to see you, Mark. Cheers, Disco. Hey, mate, cheers. Cheers to everybody in the chat. We've got a few in. If you've not been on the chat before, if you've not been on the stream before, come and say hello to us. Yeah, I love meeting new people. That, not sure. Matt Hall, all good too. Been stupidly busy with work. Got a Brew York, Mallowed, Be Thy Name, Dark Berry and Marshmallow Pastry Sour. You're opening, I don't know, I say you're opening. If you're hitting those beers at 5 o'clock, Matt, Do you know what I mean? 12 o'clock. It's going to be interesting for you tonight. Evening all. Happy damn end of the week. Cheers, Disco, mate. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Mosey Beer says the new M&S Citrus IPA from M&S brewed by Adnams is supposed to be good. Is it actually, is it a citrus? Oh, citrus IPA. Because a lot of the time, I know that they've recanned stuff. They recan stuff, don't they, for Marks and Spencers? But yeah, I don't know. Maybe they've done a new beer. That's quite interesting to know, actually. CJ's in, hello, mate. Yeah, Mark, more like the Irish flu. Yeah, I tell you, honestly, I was laid up. Stomach. I first, quite a funny story, actually. I first met my wife back in 2014. And the first time she met my parents, we went to it was a restaurant called the Halfway House in Chollock in Kent, like near Canterbury. And I don't know why. I did it. I can't think of the life of me why. I probably on the impress still at that point. I was like, oh, should we be a bit sort of like get the seafood paella? So I got the seafood paella and something got me in that. And I got food poisoning from that. And this week was exactly the same. It was exactly the same amount of time, the same it had all the same symptoms. It just felt the same. It was awful. I think if I'm honest, Crummy's in the chat. I'll just send him in the chat. Crummy, I was just saying about when I sent that WhatsApp video. A little bit drunk on Saturday and ended up getting done. Absolute nightmare. Look, John, how you doing, mate? You are not Crummy. What have you done with him, and is he still breathing? I can neither confirm or deny anything's taken place to Crummy. It'll be up for the courts to decide, if I'm honest. Crummy, hello, mate. I just turned on the first words were my wife. Did you hear? I done on my wife in the Delirium Red video yesterday that went out. Dashing thumbnail, by the way. See, it was a very beautiful thumbnail, and it's the one I will now use because I've been using yours, hadn't I? Which I can only thank you for. Crummy says, I'll be in shortly, just feeding the hounds and setting up. Nice one, mate. Yeah, let me know. Phone me or something, because you spend hours in the basement when I'm hosting a live. Luke says, P.S. Take no notice of me. I'm at a beer festival and so far had more than I thought. Oh, mate, quality. What beer festival is it? There's loads this weekend. Loads. Or say loads. There's loads of local ones. My local brewery, Ampersand, they've got one. They've got like guest taps from like Turning Point and Pasteur and Duration. There's another one in Norfolk called the Trunch Beer Festival. That kind of always all like Norfolk beers and stuff. But yeah, loads this weekend. Good weather for it as well. I'm glad the brewers, it's probably going to be quite a tough time for them through the winter. And if people are feeling the pinch, so it's great that they're having a good end of the summer. Luke John Frost says, no comment, Crummy. Disco says, mate, honestly, this is so true. You don't half get ill a lot, soft lad. I'd say it was hypochondria, but you've probably had that as well. You've got tablets for that, mate. No, honestly, I'm like a Ford Mondeo, mate. My health is normally like really boring, nothing to write home about. It just ticks over nicely. This year, COVID, shingles, loss of eyesight, food poisoning. Yeah, it's been a weird old year, actually. It's a weird old year, just thrown into the mix as well. Obviously, trying to raise my very young daughter, who's now 10 months old. Yeah, it's been an interesting one. Luke John, Eagles Cliff Beer Festival, 60 different beers from 20 breweries, banging. That is, I mean, Eagles Cliff, that's probably going to be up your way, isn't it? What sort of brewery? Is it sort of craft beer or is it more trad? Because I've seen this year, and it's the first year I've really noticed it. Obviously, it's been the first year kind of after COVID that beer festivals have been able to happen. But a lot of smaller beer festivals are doing a lot more craft beer. There's one, Middlewich Beer Festival that's coming up. They were advertising that they've got 8 craft beer taps on, which is good news. It's good news. That Pilsner isn't really living up to my excitement, I have to say. It's nice enough, but Disco. Ford, fix or repair daily. You know it, mate. You know it. So talking of having things fixed, my VW's in the workshop at the moment, having all the repairs done. That's from idiot hit my van and drove off back in April, believe it or not. Luke John said, all craft beers with some exclusives. Nice, mate. So, oh my Lord. And he's followed that up with, are you going to these, Luke? 15 beer festivals in 8 weeks. I need a 4-week break after every one. But yeah, I suppose, yeah, you know, it is what it is, I suppose. I know you love it, didn't you? You absolutely love it. Right, what I'm going to do, I'm going to wait to do the unboxing. I'll wait for Crummy to come on, and we'll get the old Oktoberfest unboxing done. Matt sent me a photo on Instagram. There you go. This is Matt Hall, who's in the chat. This is the Mallowed Be Thy Name, Dark Berry and Marshmallow Pastry Sour. Boom, there you go. It does look good. I don't mind a pastry sour. I go on about it all the time, but last year I literally bumped into Yonder Brewery and Brewing and blending, and pretty much they were just doing all the pastry sours at the time. And yeah, I got quite a few of there, but they weren't cheap. They were not cheap by any means, but they were lovely. And it kind of turned my head into sour beer, actually. I won't lie. John said, "Yep, going to be a busy drunken boy." Good for you, mate. I know you love a beer fest, and fair play to you, mate. You work. I know you work hard enough. Henry 420, hello, mate. That was really confusing. I swear I thought this was Crummy Stream, but well, hello, Mark and Craft Beer Hub and Crummy Beer. Cheers. I've done this stream before, and no one said anything, but I don't know what it is. Just today, I don't know. Crummy's back doing the streams now, I suppose. I think he's doing a bit more regularly now. So yeah. I can imagine people probably a bit confused. Hello, Luke John Frost, brother. Disco said, "Them festivals, best get a few more beers in for you, Luke." he can tuck a few beers away, can Luke. There was that one stream. He started at like two in the afternoon, and it was going at midnight. I can't remember the actual times, but he was still talking normally, and he was drinking beer as well, like proper tucking it away. Bless him. Hey up, Henry. Henry says, "Hello, Rasco Disco." Henry's laughing, and Luke John says, "Cheeky Disco." Disco says, "Yo, Henry, cheers, happy damn Friday." Oh, I totally forgot. It was bank holiday. That's made me even better. I literally drove home from work going 2 days off. Nice. Excuse me. What have I got? Have I got anything to talk about in the fridge? I've got a few beers coming up. Got a few quite exciting beers like this. A Vedette. Has anyone had that? A Vedette IPA. Extraordinary IPA. What ABV is it? 5.5%. I've just got I'm kind of getting through the beers. I probably had a couple of hundred beers at one point, and it was getting really difficult to choose which ones I actually wanted to get on the channel. But I'm really getting through them now. What we got? Happy days. So yeah, Matt Hall sent me another photo. He loves it, does Matt Hall. He doesn't do this normally, by the way. Wife is on this. Core triple IPA from Brewed by Numbers. What is it? Sabro and Mosaic. Two of my favourite hops. I'm going to have to buy that. Oh, that's lovely. I bet that's lovely. Nice citrusy, semi-tropical coconutty beer. Yeah, and it's Brewed by Numbers as well. They know how to do IPAs, don't they? Let's be real. Luke John says that 2 p.m. till latest today, all over again, Mark. I know you love it, mate. I know you love it. I hope the beers at the beer festival are better than this. This is a Pilsner it's one of Marks and Spencer's own Pilsners from Bohemia Regent Brewery in Trebon in Czech Republic. I think it's a proper like old school. It might be the oldest. Is it the oldest brewery in Czech? I think I read. Could be a pile of rubbish. Yeah, I don't know. I normally put a bit of faith in the Marks and Spencer's own labelled stuff because it's normally brewed by like Vocation. Meantime, done a lager, didn't they? Adnams, Huiga that brewed the Delirium Red. I think they've done the cherry beer. But yeah, I don't know. It's just a bit. It's not on the level of like Budvar or something like that. It's just a bit. Yeah, Luke says it looks a weak Pilsner to me, mate. It just doesn't. It's not hitting the spot. I didn't check the ABV. It's 5%, so I suppose it is by Czech standards slightly on the weaker side. Crisp and hoppy. It's just. It's just a bit weak, if I'm honest. I think you're right by saying that. Henry says, "Happy damn Friday, Disco. How are we all? How are we?" Speak to Henry. I'm really good. Had a couple of days off, generally speaking, but I'm all right. I've got some quite exciting beers coming up on the channel, actually. I've got this. Now, this is a Lagunitas. These are all bit. I haven't got a rubbish tip by me, by the way, although this room is an absolute state. I've got to do all the thumbnails. Got to get the thumbnails taken for these for the channel. But this is a Lagunitas Sun Pin Ale. Little Sun Pin, it's called. I won't spoil it for you, but it was the weirdest experience. It's almost like a split of two styles, but one style slightly dominated the other. But it was enjoyable. It was like eye-opening. Do you know what I mean? It was really eye-opening. Then I've got this coming up. This is one of that's Phaedra from Pomona Island. I really rate Pomona Island. I really do. I think they're fantastic. They're a fantastic brewery from Salford in Manchester. And Phaedra is one of their core pale ales. That's coming up. What else we got? I think that's probably it for the moment for the bottles that I've got. But yeah, I've got like things like this coming up. I haven't actually filmed this yet. Like Baltic Trader. Some of you sort of trad fans will know Green Jack Brewery from Lowestoft, and this is their Imperial or Export Stout, should I say? It's bloody lovely. I was in a really cool little pub near me called the Geldeston Locks, and Green Jack supply a lot of beer in there, and I saw it bottled Baltic Trader. I was like, "Can I have that?" I was like, "Don't open it. I want it for home." Disco says, "I hear that, Mark. Same problem here. Still too many beers, not enough me, and I haven't really brought any new ones this month, mate. I'm the same. To be honest with you, I'm glad that there hasn't been like a big supermarket release or whatever, because it got to the point. It was around about the Lidl Beer Festival, and I was thinking I wanted to get the Lidl Beer Festival beers because one, I was excited because some of the beers in there really tickled my pickle. But equally, I was a bit like, I've got to buy more beer, and I've got honestly." Let me see if I can lift up. Let me see if I can lift up the camera. So, like, down. That's my fridge there. So all these are beers. These all arrived this week. They're from Barefaced Brewing down in Blandford. I've got loads of beers down there. Then I've got a box. That's like my stout box and strong box. That fridge is full. That's like a little kind of small little camping fridge thing. I'm just like thinking, when am I going to get the time to drink them all? I just don't know if I'm ever going to get the time. So yeah. I'm just hoping there isn't going to be another supermarket release anytime soon because I love the new stuff. Buying beer almost became like a bit of an addiction, I suppose, because I just love all the new stuff, trying the new things. A lot of the time, new hops hit the supermarkets, like Sabro's hit the supermarket recently, which is cool. So yeah, I don't know. Luke John says, "Looks a wheat pills to me." Yeah, mate, don't know if I'm going to drink the rest of that bottle, if I'm honest. It's really uninspiring. Matt says, "Been on holiday?" Yeah, you've been on the south coast. You've been sort of Sussex way, haven't you? Oh, George Hunt, anyone out tonight? My mate George saying, "Is anyone out for a beer tonight?" Yeah, you've been down the south coast, haven't you? Where was it? East Sussex, West Sussex, somewhere down there. Henry says, "I'm on a Heineken right now, but I've got 4 craft beers, 2 from Waitrose." Mate, I got a couple more than these, but I got these from Waitrose. Which I'm probably going to drink in a bit. Maybe that one first, because that's like a session New England IPA that apparently is very nice from Roosters. But yeah, Waitrose got some banging stuff in, haven't they? Really, really good stuff. David Wilson, hello, mate. Hi, Mark. Hi, all. Hello, David. How are you doing, mate? I hope you're well. Hope you had a good week. Yeah, what are you doing for your bank holiday? What is everyone doing for the bank holiday? It's got to be beer festivals, isn't it? It's a big beer festival weekend. I imagine a lot of you are going to be hitting up the beer festivals near you. Mersey Business, Green Jack still produced the worst beer I've ever had. Gone fishing. You know, I don't think they do it anymore, mate. I don't think they do it. They sent me through, because I used to, not anymore, but I used to order beer for a beer festival. And I didn't see that on the list. We had a beer festival back in July, and I didn't, is it June or July? Can't remember, but I didn't see it on the list. So I don't know if they've canned it, but some of their beers are cracking. They do a beer called, is it called Summer Dream? It's an elderflower pale ale, and it is just like, it's just one of the most refreshing things ever. Henry says, "Hello, good evening, David." Mersey Beer says, "Asda have just done a big release, Mark, on the 4 for free." Oh, mate, I just can't. I haven't got enough space. I'm gonna have to rent a garage or something to store it all in, I think. Henry says, "Mersey Beer's Matt Hall. Cheers, good evening to you, lads." Luke says, "I've got issues. You've got them too." Isn't that's a song lyric, isn't it? Disco says, yeah, same. Got really good at buying beers, less good at reviewing or getting them drunk. Yeah, I think that's I kind of YouTube's kind of been one of those things that's had to fit around like my work life and family, and obviously my daughter and stuff. So I've kind of got into this thing now. I'll do sort of 2 or 3 reviews at a time and try and work a week ahead of myself. So I'm always. But I enjoy it. It sounds like a bit arduous, but I'm still enjoying it. But it's kind of a bit more structure. There he is. I've just seen the man downstairs. Boom. There we go.
It always comes in on the terrible zoomed in view.
It does, doesn't it? It does. Let me
start to embrace it now, just leaning in to get as intense as possible as soon as I join.
Oh, no, I can't customize the background because I stopped paying for StreamYard because I stopped streaming for a bit. So I was going to customize the background. But no, we're stuck with it. How are you, mate?
I'm all right, mate. How are you?
Yeah, good. Just I was kind of really excited for the first beer of the bank holiday weekend, which I totally forgot it was bank holiday until I think Disco reminded me, and I've been let down a little bit with a Czech Pilsner from M&S.
Oh dear! I'll be honest. M&S beers, I was going to say hit and miss, but it's normally miss, and then maybe a hit.
Yeah, I do get quite excited because, like you say, you kind of pick and choose. Like, I think they've done a millionaire shortbread stout with like arbor and stuff. That was like, yeah, I'll have a bit of that. I think they've done a sour with Brick Brewing as well. Well, Brick Brewery from London.
I remember you. Yeah, I feel there was definitely one that you were raving about. I feel like that might have been it.
I think it was. I think I said at the time it was the best sour in the supermarket. And to be honest, even with Vault City coming in, it probably still is. But then, then you get like the Meantime Lager, and it's like,
yeah, it's just I won't get over the. I think it was the Chelsea Porter that I did. It wasn't a Christmas beer, but I did it as part of my Christmas calendar last year, and it was just dire. I mean, it was barely dark enough to be a best bitter. Never mind a porter. It was just gross.
So that wasn't the one produced. If it's Chelsea Porter, I imagine it's a London brewery. But there was one that Robinson's brewed.
It wasn't Robinson's. No, it wasn't. I don't think it was Robinson's. I can't remember who it is now. I could go back and find out. But yeah, it wasn't great. Wasn't great. But I do need a beer. I've not had one yet. And I say I do need. Normally I don't. I normally try and avoid saying the words "I need a beer" because that's suggestive of problem drinking. But this morning I was like, I don't know if I'm going to do a live or not. I don't know even if I'm going to bother having a beer tonight. I'll probably have one, but I'm not ready. Going to do some stuff over the weekend, so I'm not bothered. And then I had an afternoon that changed that very quickly, and now I'm drinking some beer tonight. So
good or bad? Are we drowning or are we celebrating?
We're not celebrating. I think we've managed to avoid drowning, but only just.
Nice one, mate. Right, whilst you dig out a beer, I'm going to get some of the comments. So yeah, Vasco, yeah, I was buying a lot of beer and not getting it reviewed, so I had to come up with a structure to actually get it reviewed. Matt Hall says Aldwick, about 10 minutes from Bognor Regis. Nice, mate. You've had some good weather as well down there. David Wilson says, good, mate. Thanks, Mark. How are you, mate? I'm really good, thank you. Started the week with a bit of a dodgy belly.
Did you just pronounce it Alnwick? We were told off last week.
No, that's Aldwick.
Oh, okay, I'll let you off. Go on.
Yeah. I think it's. I would have lived probably about an hour from there, so I hope I've pronounced it right. I probably haven't because I've got quite a murderous thing with my pronunciation. But yeah, mate, all good. Just week was started rubbish. Finished a big job today. But I kind of went in to do an electrical report for a landlord, and I was like, mate, his fuse board, like there's a regulation that a fuse board has to be 150 millimeters away from a gas meter. And the fuse board would butt up against the gas meter. So it was like, right, that's a new fuse board because we've got to drop it down. And it was just this small little inspection that this landlord thought he was going to get. I've ended up being there for 2.5 days. So yeah, and it's naffed up my diary because he wants to get the inspection done. So yeah, it's been a week, but yeah, we're here now and it's bank holiday. Nice brother Mark. Yeah, they have a good selection, mate. Here. I think they do. I think they really do. David Wilson says, gig to attend on Sunday. May do some drinking tomorrow. Who are you going to go and see, David? Who are you going to go and see? What have you got there, Crumb?
So this is, I thought my day's been marginally disappointing. So I'm going to start on what I know is a marginally disappointing beer, but I want to drink it. And I didn't review this because I bought 2 cans of it and I really wanted to sing its praises. So this is from Navigation Brewery, the same brewery that did that Key Lime Pale, which
Yes.
was mind-blowing. And they've done loads of incredible stuff over the last few years. But they did this summer lager, the hazy...
Oh,
Hey, what do they call it? Hazy craft lager, 4.5%. Right,
that should be good, right?
it should be, but unless the first can I had there was something wrong with it, it was just it's not bad enough to say there's something wrong with the beer, but I do have a tendency to go on about how the UK makes no good lager, and then everyone else jumps in and goes, "You've not tried this brewery; it's fantastic."
Yeah.
What I mean is, most good brewers in the UK will bring out a lager, and I'm always slightly disappointed. And this is no exception.
I think
This is no exception.
I think I've got the can down. I think the can's down here. In terms of like disappointing beer, and I bought it, and I don't think it wouldn't have been cheap. I can't remember what I did pay for it, but I saw a Duration and Cloudwater lager, and I was like, Duration and Cloudwater, I'll have a bit of that. That should be really good.
Yeah.
Honestly, it was can of Budweiser. That's probably the best way I can describe it.
Yeah.
Really poor.
This is just not. Maybe I'm being harsh. This isn't just not what I expected. It's really fruity. It's almost Cole style.
Okay.
But not quite. Not enough to be like, oh, that, you know what I mean? It's just,
yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah,
somewhere awkwardly in the middle, and I'm not really sure. Is it meant to be really flavorful, or is it meant to be refreshing? It's not really doing either. I'm a bit, you know what I mean? I just can't quite put my finger on it.
Summer lagers, aren't they normally a bit citrusy? They're a lot. Aren't they sort of meant to be a bit citrusy? Summer lagers.
Probably. It has got a bit of citrus twang to it, but it's also a bit berry fruit as well in there. It's a bit
strange.
Yeah, it's just, again, I'll tell you, to be fair to it, if it was a warm day in a pub garden and someone just went and got around and you plonk one down in front of you, you wouldn't question it. You'd have a perfect. In fact, if anything, you'd probably love it and you go, "This is the best lager I've ever had."
Yeah, I know what you mean.
But I think the anticipation was so high off the back of their previous beers that it was just a bit like, all right, fine.
Well, you really did like that Key Lime one, didn't you? So
that Key Lime one's fantastic. Some of their impies they've done have been just unreal.
I've not had anything from Navigation. I feel like I've heard of them once or twice in the past. Are they not? They Nottingham? They are, aren't they?
They're an interesting brewery because they definitely started out very traditional. Are still a very, I wouldn't say a very small brewery, but relatively small.
Yeah,
and they are still tied to the pub. So the Navigation Inn is there's the big pub right next to Notts County's football ground. So they've got a long history in terms of, in the city and stuff. And a lot of people who have ever been to see either Notts County or Notts Forest play will have likely been in, because of even though it's next to Notts County's ground, you have to walk past it pretty much to get to Forest ground from the train station.
I feel like I've been there. I went to watch Charlton play Forest in like the FA Cup years ago.
So
I'm trying to think. It rings a bell. Do you know what I mean? It just rings a bell for some reason.
Yeah. But anyway, actually, I'm enjoying this more this time than I did last time. It's because I said I don't like it. And I'm like, hold on.
I've just
maybe I wasn't in the mood. Oh, he's done Red Kite. Very nice.
I wasn't a fan of it the first time round, but equally, I wasn't a fan of what's the yellow can?
Goldfinch Pale.
Sorry, not the orange can. Sorry, Goldfinch. Is it called?
Goldfinch is the orange can. Yeah.
I wasn't really much of a fan of that, but I really enjoyed it the second time around. So I
think Goldfinch is the gluten-free one, if I remember rightly.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if it's because I've chilled it more. I don't know, but that's really quite enjoyable. Let's get some comments. Henry says, Dave Wilson, get one down your son. Disco says, back up my local brewery, Perivale tomorrow. You like them, don't you? I know you like them. And their new Cucumber Hefeweizen. Sounds weird, but it has to be tried, as does their Golden Groot.
I bet that's really good, because Seven Brothers did the watermelon style one, and it's not. I know you don't think of them in the same vein, but actually, if you think of composition, they're quite similar.
I have that in the fridge. That grapefruit.
Oh,
Schofferhofer.
Schoffer Hoffer.
But I think I'm going to review that. But yeah, a fruited Hefeweizen. I'm all for it. Steve, hello mate. Evening all. How are we all? Steve, how are you, mate? I saw on one of your YouTube videos that you're taking a break. I hope everything's all right, mate. But yeah, if you want anything, just message me on Instagram, mate. But yeah, I hope you're well. Stuntman Steve's Tavern, hello mate. Everyone's saying hello to Steve. David will says hi Tom and hi Steve.
Hi David.
Henry says hello Crummy.
Hello Henry.
Dick Van Dyke style.
Paul's not here.
Eh?
So Paul's not here, so I have to fill in.
No, he isn't. Is he? He literally sounds like the Chimney Sweep or Chimney Sweep's brother or whatever it is. Henry, Rasco Disco, Dave Wilson, hey, hope you're good. Steve says, feels strange not being live, to be honest. Mate, you do about 4 a week, so I can imagine you're probably quite lost. But like I say, I hope you're all right, mate. I hope it's all right. I hope everything's all right, because normally when people take breaks, stuff isn't good. So, but I hope you're all right, mate. Steve says, all good, man. Getting there, man. Thank you for asking. Mersey says, Mark, DM you the 4 new ones I've got an answer. Yeah, mate, send it over. I haven't got anything through yet. Make sure you're messaging the right Instagram account. Go to the Craft Beer Hub one, not the Mark's Beer Reviews one, because that other one got hacked. Henry says, Stuntman Steve, for sure. You hope YouTube is your second home and mine. Haha. Oh, Christ. It's StreamYard just had a little hit for his fit there. Yep, you know it, Henry. Henry says, good to hear it, Steve. Henry's off to Steve. And then Dave Wilson says, a metal band called Temperance. Oh, there we go.
I'm familiar with, but I've heard of, but not familiar with. But I think they've got a good reputation. So hopefully you'll enjoy it.
Where are they, David? Because aren't you like Andover way or somewhere like that? That's probably Reading or somewhere like that for you, isn't it? Henry says, sounds nice. Love a good hazy IPA or pale, but not tried a hazy lager.
I've had a few now. They're not bad in general. I'm trying to. How would I explain? A hazy lager takes away the cleanliness of lager somehow.
Yeah.
So you've got to be prepared for. It's almost. I don't want to say it's a lager pale hybrid, because that's not quite fair. But it has a hazy lager tends to bring in influences of a few other styles depending on what yeast has been used and so on. So yeah, there's always just a bit of extra of something a bit different and maybe not quite as crisp about them normally. Yeah. But I'm sure someone's done something different.
No, I'm with you. I mean, I had this. That's a review I done a little while ago. The Ampersand and Three Hills Zestland.
Mm-hmm.
The Motueka and Lime Light Lager. That was unreal. Probably one of my favourite lagers of the year, if I'm honest. And it kind of made me think you can hop a lager, you can dry hop a lager, and it turns out all right. I know you're not much of a fan of hopping lagers or dry hopping lagers.
No, not for me. Not for me.
Henry says, be right back. Mergy says, I think Verdant struggle to make anything that isn't hazy pales, IPAs, or dark beers. I had a West Coast IPA from them, and it was dire. They are very sort of trendy, aren't they, Verdant? They've got their little pocket of what they do really, really well. And I haven't had anything other than, to be fair, I'm with you, mate. I can't think of a Verdant beer. I've only had I've had a session light bulb. I had a big light bulb from them. But yeah, you're right in what you say. All the beers have been.
There was that super low ABV People, Money, Space, Time, was it called? Something like that?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Yeah. That was really good.
That was or something, wasn't it?
That was it was a session pale. It was like 3.4 or something. It was really low.
Yeah,
but that was incredible. Paul's
beer reviews beer of the year last year, no less.
It was indeed.
Yeah, I did enjoy it. So Mersey Beers has sent me the Asda drop. I've got the mango IPA sitting right next to me actually, from Kirkstall. North Distant Call. I've seen that one out. Oh, we got another one from Magic Rock. Don't mention that to John. Called Precognition, which is a hazy IPA.
They've been bought out again now. You might like them again now.
Yeah, isn't it like didn't we say last week the Utopian, the company that owns Utopian or something?
Yeah, the company that owns Utopia, and I know it sounds, when you say the company that owns, it immediately sounds like they're part of a massive thing. But the guy who founded Utopia, is on. I think he's part owner of the company that owns it, if that makes sense. So it's not maybe quite as. I'm sure they're a big company, but maybe it's not as. We're not talking about AB InBev here. So
No,
relatively, reasonably small scale, I think. But yeah,
CJ,
been bought out. Nice.
Oh, there you go. See, so there might be. You can buy their beers without having to feel guilty anymore. Because wasn't it? Was it Tiger that owned them, and there was like some sort of dodgy war stuff going on at one point or another? I think
there was a lot of accusations.
Yeah, accusations. That's what I should be saying. Be saying. Stammer Steve says, "Thank you, Mark." He says, "Hey, Mr. Bread, how are you?"
I'm good, cheers, mate. How are you, sir? Hope you're well.
Brad,
can we just? You skipped over CJ's comment that cucumbers are melons.
Sorry, I started talking about your
the most interesting comment I've ever seen. And yeah, now you say it. Of course they are. They look exactly of. Yeah.
There we go. So I imagine it works.
Yeah.
I have to say one of the worst beers I had was a cucamelon. It was called Cucamelon Sour from Adnams. That was.
I'll be honest, as soon as you bring in a Starlight Sour and add the word Adnams in front of it, I'm immediately not interested. That looks like cheese.
It was one of those beers that I'm glad I only paid a couple of quid for it or whatever it was in the 330 can. Brad Evans is in. All you peeps. Hello, brothers. How you doing, mate? Hope you're well.
I do.
Disco says jury is out on cucumber beer for me. Find it weird, but got to try these things. Plus, it's fresh out the back of the brewery, so going to be ace. That's one thing that's in your favour with that beer.
Yeah, for sure.
It's probably coming a couple of meters from the vessel to your glass or to your can. Steve says, Mr. Evans, how are you? Brad says, never been better stuntman. How are you, mate? David says, a gig in London, seen before, great live band. I just don't go to enough gigs. I've never been like the giggy guy. Do you know what I mean? Never been that guy.
I did quite a lot in my 20s and then kind of realized that my back's not very good anymore. So I'm just like, I now pick and choose. I've got to really want to go now.
Yeah. I think my last gig actually was I went to see my mate Sean. He's quite a shy character. He's a lovely guy. He's really shy, but he wanted to go and see a band called Ghost. If any of you have heard Ghost,
yeah, Ghost are big time. Yes,
they're big, aren't they? And
that stage show is incredible. Sorry,
the Swedish metal band.
They are they Swedish? I think they are Swedish. Yeah, and they're a performative act.
They're meant. Right? It's all chrome head.
It's all
things.
It's all theatre, but the very loose concept of the band, for those that don't know, is that their front man is effectively the anti-pope. Right, and but what's interesting is, much like the Pope, they'll change their front man on like I can't remember how many years or how many albums it is, but they have like a schedule where they get rid of the old one and bring a new one out on stage.
No way.
Yeah.
But it was pretty cool. Weird. I saw them at the Motorpoint Arena in Nottingham.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, that would have been November 2019.
Yeah, I didn't go to that one, but they're very good.
They were very good. It's not my cup of tea, but I mean, the music was they were very good. Like,
they're well put together, even if you're not really bothered about what they're doing. Yeah,
the visuals were just absolutely insane. Steve says, "Lol, if it spells, I can help if I can spell Evans. I'm good, Brad." Henry says, "Brad Evans, show. Good evening." Henry's like, have you seen that welcome? The guy on YouTube that does like the welcome. What's he called? He dresses in that purple gown and welcomes people into like Woolworths. Oh, not Woolworths. Listen to me.
I don't think it's just one guy. I think there's a few, but you're talking about. I know what you mean. What's it called?
Oh, what's it called? People, you must know. Someone must know.
Is there something greeting society or something?
The Greeters Guild.
The Greeters Guild. There you go.
Henry's like the Greeters Guild. He's such a lovely guy, Henry. Crummy says, Crumbly is correct regarding their ownership. The pub company that owns them only has 2 or 3 pubs. That's amazing. So Magic Rock are now owned. Magic Rock are now back to being a smallish owned brewery. Oh, imagine if they get back to the old times. I mean, I was at Brew London, and I kind of avoided Magic Rock, if I'm honest, because there's so many breweries. I think there was about 50, 60 breweries at Brew London. and loads on the list of got to try those, got to try those. It was really hard to spend any time at Magic Rock because I've had quite a lot of Magic Rock beer. I had it when they were good, and I had it when it wasn't so good. But they did have an Imperial Stout, and it was much like Tiny Rebel. Actually, I talked about Tiny Rebel when I'd done the Key Lime Lager thing. You could taste the quality. You can taste the ingredients would have been quality. The brewing team would have been let loose to just produce an amazing Imperial Stout, and it was kind of frustrating at the time. It's great to hear now that they've been bought out, but it's these guys can do it. They've got the teams to do it. They're just not allowed. It's almost like driving a Ferrari at 30 mile an hour everywhere.
Yeah.
But hey ho, it's great to hear they've been bought out anyway. James Snell, hello mate. He says got Goose on the Loose IPL from Aldi. It's okay. I didn't get that one.
No. Oh, Aldi. No, I've not seen that one. Oh, Goose on the Loose. Is that Goose Island?
I think it's the Goose Island. It's not.
I'm surprised they do another. If it is, I'm surprised they do an IPL because they do halfway, don't they? Which is basically the same thing. Midway, sorry. It's called
Midway, that's it.
It's basically the same thing. So maybe it's not. Maybe it's someone else.
There you go. Yeah, could be. CJ says, Henry cooking. Henry for training, right, geezer. Alan Mead, how you doing, mate? I haven't seen you in a little while. I hope you're well.
Yeah,
I hope you're well, mate. Obviously, your Instagram just makes me jealous every time I look at it. So yeah, you're always in my thoughts, mate. David Wilson says hi, Alan Mead. Henry says hi, Alan Mead. He's saying hello back to everybody. David says, sadly, due to lack of trains, can only go to gigs Friday through Sunday. Is that they still doing that? Is all the train strikes?
I think maybe David just lives in a place that doesn't have a late night service.
Yeah. I hear you, mate. I hear you. Honestly, StreamYard's absolutely. Every time I scroll down the comments, it starts zipping up and down. It's really weird. Henry says, "Not too bad, Alan. How are you, mate?" David says, "I describe Ghost as pop metal. His voice is way too soft for me." I remember it. I remember it being not as bad as I thought it was when I saw you're in the kind of gantry, not the gantry. What the underpass bit where all the bars are and the restaurant and the food outlets and stuff. Everyone's wearing these chrome head things, and I thought, oh my god, what are we going to come into here? But I remember thinking, all of a sudden, your foot starts tapping, and yeah, no, they weren't too bad, I have to say. Henry says, yeah, I know the dude. It's the Greeters Guild, mate. How funny is he? Did you see when he welcomed Man City back into training the first day? And he said to Jack Grealish, he went, "You have got a wonderfully symmetrical face. Go smash it." Made me laugh. Absolutely made me laugh. Henry says, "Welcome to YouTube, you absolute spliffing bunch." Absolutely. Mersey says, "Mole Impy Stout from Magic Rock is home bargains." What?
£2.50 for a 10% beer. I mean, it's got to be good, but to be worth drinking. But that's very cheap.
I'll tell you what. I've had a few stouts from Magic Rock, and I'd be up for spending the £2.50 on it. It's got to be worth a look, isn't it? 10%. Never know. Yeah. Mersey says Goose Island collaboration, or Goose Island now the exclusive is that IPL. Midway is a session IPA. Of course it is. Of course it is. Joey's in. What does Boss Wallocks mean?
Well,
Boss Wallocks. It's going to be a type of leather weave or something. It's going to be
really obscure. Yeah.
A type of horse hoof used in Texas during the 1930s. Brad says, Henry, I'm all right, mate. Cheers, you. Henry says, Mersey Beers just recently tried their high wire grapefruit. Magic Rocks, yeah. I think that's. I feel like high wire grapefruit is better than high wire tropical. It is Goose Island IPA, India Pale Lager brewed for Aldi. Oh, okay, it's an exclusive. Fair enough.
I think I've been put off IPLs for life after that. That one from Lidl.
The Freedom one.
Yeah, that was bad.
It does make you wonder why they bother putting them in, because Freedom had Freedom were never amazing top draw, but if I saw a can of theirs, I'd buy it, a new can. But then I had that IPL, and I was like, And then they've done, what was the other?
The session IPA was good. That was the annoying thing.
Where is it?
It's rummaging.
Yeah, that.
Yeah,
that is absolute pond water.
it is. Yeah, it's awful.
Not very good at all. And probably actually much more sort of in keeping of the way the beer festivals have been the most recent beer festivals. I haven't really jumped on it. The past beer festivals with Lidl, just because there've been beers like that.
I thought most of them were good. That was the only one I had that was really like, this is bad.
Yeah, I mean, I really enjoyed this recent festival. Really enjoyed it. Really enjoyed it. I thought they'd done a cracking job. Henry says, Brad, good to hear, mate. Not doing bad, thanks. Henry says, Brad says, cheers, brother, just chilling. David says, we used to have a last train just after midnight. Now an hour and last train out from London at 11:30. 30 minutes not easy to get back from most venues. No, that is the problem, isn't it? Where would you get the train? Would you be Waterloo, David? That side? I feel like you would be. So yeah, I know what you mean. Getting across London, there's no sort of gig venues out that way. David says, hi, Joey. Joey says, David, sup, homie? Which I imagine the way David would greet people normally, but Joey's doing it for him. Henry says, yeah, man, that guy's funny as Mark, brother. Oh, mate, he's hilarious. Absolutely hilarious. And Henry says, cool, bro. There we go. We're caught up to the comments.
He's done it.
So, shall we talk Oktoberfest beers?
Please do. I've not bought any yet, and I really want some, and I haven't got any, so I'm a bit sad.
Because mine have arrived. I've recently learned today I might have pulled the trigger a bit too early and I could have saved myself a few quid. But
I looked at that conversation. So you're talking about Trembling Madness, presumably.
Yes.
So I've looked. They've got a lot of German stuff, but there's not a lot of new in right now specific Oktoberfest beers. They've got the odd thing that I think is available year round that vaguely mentions it, but no, it's not the same as what you've got. So,
well, I was looking because we talked, didn't we, about Oktoberfest, and there was a bit of chat on the WhatsApp group about Oktoberfest, and I've been to Munich. I've not done Oktoberfest, but I've drunk a lot of Bavarian beer, and I loved it. If I'm honest, it was amazing.
Since we're talking about it.
Oh right, I'm doing it as well. Then
it's the only German beer I've got. I'm having it.
Boom! Let's do it together.
Nice.
And yeah, I was kind of reading about it, and so for a brewery to say this beer is an Oktoberfest beer, well, frankly, there's not a lot of breweries that can. There's only 6, and they are Hofbrau, Lowenbrau, Spartan, Hackerschwur. It's 2 more.
One of them must be
Augustina.
Yeah, and the other one is, and it's the one I was trying to think. Oh, geez, come on, use head, use brain. The other one must be. Oh, that's annoying. Oh, Eiger.
I think it could be Einger. I think it is.
Yeah.
I think it is. So no other. So
they definitely do a Oktoberfest beer, so it must be them.
Oh yeah. So I bought last year. I bought a Schneiderweiss, and I thought it was an Oktoberfest beer, but it can't have been. It must have just been called a Fest beer.
Yes. So a lot of the stuff on Trembling Madness were Fest beers, not Oktoberfest beers.
So these Fest beers are, beers brewed for Oktoberfest, but they're not allowed to call them Oktoberfest beers because there's like rules. Basically, it can only be Bavarian beer that's served at the Oktoberfest event. If you're not from Bavaria, you can't use that. Then you have to, even if you're from Bavaria, you have to be selected. So anyway, I've got a box here from the Belgian Beer Company.
Notoriously German, the Belgian beer.
Yeah, I know. Seems weird. I just googled Oktoberfest beers and they popped up. So let's have a quick look. So I haven't got a table, so I'm going to be bending down quite often. No, memes, please. And we'll kind of go through a few little bits. I've literally just peeled the top open. I've not unpackaged it yet. It's very much still packaged.
David Wilson might be in with a correction.
Paul Anna. I think David Wilson might be right.
He says Paul Anna's in there, and they've got to be in there. But there's a few differences there. Augustina.
I don't think Paul Anna was one that done an Oktoberfest beer. I don't know. We're going to find out together because it turns out I don't even know what's in this box. So let's remove the wrappers.
Let's find out. Awkward silence while he unpackages.
So this is. I wanted the only glass I've got, my kind of German themed glass, is that like really fancy bougie one that I had last week.
That is very bougie.
It's a bit too much, so I kind of thought I'm going to buy a glass, and the only kind of German wheat beer, lagery, German style glass that they had was the Schneiderweiss glass.
It's nice.
Which is very nice.
It's very nice.
Very fluty.
It is very fluty, indeed.
I'm just going to stick this. I'm going to stick this Franciscana straight in it. Right, let's remove. Very well packaged, I will say. You've got all the bottles, like all this packaging on top of the bottles. So the first beer out at random is this, and David Wilson is absolutely correct. It's the Paul Anna Oktoberfest beer.
Very nice.
I should have known that because they sponsor Bayern Munich and everything else, and yeah, this is brewed. This might be it. So this might be the thing which makes an Oktoberfest beer an Oktoberfest beer. Brewed in accordance with the Bavarian purity law of 1516. Now, I know there's a German purity law.
No, it's the same thing.
Is it the same thing? Right, okay. I knew it was
1516. I'm pretty confident 1516 is the same year as the German purity law. Yeah, as I say, we've got a bottle in front of us. Probably just...
Yeah. Oh, yeah, it does say Bavarian purity law. Yeah. So, yeah, the first one's Paul Anna, which I'm really excited about because I really do like Paul Anna beers.
Me too. Very good.
Second one is probably the most interesting looking bottle in there. It's the Hackerschwor Madsen, which I believe means that this beer was actually brewed or went into the fermentation vessel in March, which makes it a Madsen. And it ages and matures in that vessel, and then they get it out and bottle it for Oktoberfest, which is pretty cool.
No.
The next one is a really cool looking bottle, really old school. Spaten. With
I had their regular lager a few weeks ago for the first time. It was very nice.
Yes, yeah, it is very good. I love the kind of old school look. Can you see how it's kind of all sort of water dyed, that paper on there?
Very nice.
Really cool.
I say a few weeks ago, I just realised it was back in May, so it wasn't a few weeks ago at all. It's just that's how quickly the year's going.
The Erdinger Oktoberfest beer.
I've had that on tap. Excellent.
Really, I mean, Erdinger, they just know what they do, don't they? They know what they're doing. Bavarian double maturity method, apparently, in that one. Then we've got the Lowenbrau Oktoberfest beer. I don't mind a Lowenbrau.
No, I like them. I like all of them. I like that.
They're just good, aren't they?
If I'll be honest, if I lived in Europe, I wouldn't seek out very high end beer because I like all of it so much. It's just me.
And the one I'm most excited about. There's no guesses which bottle this is. Hofbrau. And it's a reusable. It's kind of got that vintage reused glass bottle vibe about it as well. The Hofbrau Oktoberfest beer, 6.3%. This one.
Ooh,
yeah.
Now the thing is, I have to say, Hofbrau's their regular lager is very good, but I don't think it's the best of the big German. What's it for me? I know. He's gone. I sent him off. You know what it is? It got bigged up too much because it was like the one I hadn't tried for ages, and everyone was like, "It's so good," and I was like, "Yes, it was. It was like
in that accent. It's so good."
Don't make me do the German accent again. My entire German accent is based off is a cross between the little Austrian boy from The Simpsons, who isn't German but he's close enough, and Heimlich from A Bug's Life. Sorry, and or is it the Ant movie? I can't remember which one it's from. Anyway, there's a fat German stroke Austrian caterpillar, and the three pigs from Shrek. That's it. That's where my German accent comes from.
Oh, that kid! You've literally met one of the most iconic Simpsons quotes for me was when that little Austrian kid goes, "Don't make me run! I'm full of chocolate."
That's it.
Right, let's get this Franciscana open. Everyone's been commenting, so I do apologise. As Joey says, this is the first time I've seen one of you UK blokes get caught up with the chat. Well done, kind sir.
He's not been watching my streams, clearly.
Joey, it helps being a smaller channel, so I've got less people chatting. Don't tell them that though. But yeah, I'm the only one that can keep up, Joey. Joey says, "Man, when I used to drink, I loved the Oktoberfest beers. The local company, Great Lakes Brewing Company, makes a good one." Great, I've heard of Great Lakes. I follow them on Instagram.
There you go.
Yeah, really, really. I haven't had any of their beers, but I'm going over to America next year. Big news, and we're going to be doing some brewery tours.
Big news.
Getting a little thing going on for that, so that'd be quite good. But yeah, Great Lakes is going to be on the hit list. Alan Mead says, "I'm great, Henry. I'm looking forward to a few beers this evening. Tell me about it, Alan. It's bank holiday weekend, mate. Tell me about it. I'd love to go to Germany for Oktoberfest." Yeah, we looked, didn't we? We tentatively looked at a possibility of doing Oktoberfest this year, and it turns out all the tickets have gone.
And
it was about €800 for the last ones. It was
just they're silly.
And that's like a session in the day. I think that's just like an afternoon session. Alan Mead says, "Is it Weissbahner, that their last beer?" No, it wasn't. I can't remember what we said now, but it's Spaten, Lowenbrau, Erdinger, Hofbrau, Paulaner, and then Hackersvor.
Yeah, we say we got two wrong.
We did, didn't we? What did we put in there?
The other two we put in there were the one that I said, which was I said Iyengar, which was wrong.
And I said Augustina.
Yes.
I'm surprised they're not in there.
Me too. Maybe they are. Maybe there's not. Maybe I don't know.
But those beers are the 6 official Oktoberfest beers. They're the ones that are going to be served at the Oktoberfest event in just a few weeks' time. And anything else won't be allowed. They won't be allowed to serve anything else by law.
Oktoberfest notoriously in September.
Yeah, weird, isn't it? Apparently, I googled. If you Google why is Oktoberfest in September, it's literally they had it in October, but they realised the weather wasn't that good, so they just moved it to September. Okay,
that is the efficiency we know and love from.
Yeah, I'm not going to argue with it. Joey says, "I just want to see the cleavage in them beer wench costumes. Yummy." I can say when I went there, there weren't many. How can I say this politely? There weren't many younger females in lederhosen serving the beer. I'll leave it there. yeah. But Alan Mead, Henry says, "Alan Mead, good to hear, bud, and enjoy, matey." David says, "Augustina, Hackersvor, Lowenbrau, Paulaner, Spaten, Hofbrau." Yeah, so you put Augustina in, but it was actually Erding was off that list. So you've still done better than us, David, and we had 2 heads at it. Henry says, "Be right back, guys." David says, "Nice pack of beer, Mark." Yeah, I've really got into my lagers this year. I've always sort of enjoyed a Hofbrau and an Augustina and a Weiss beer as well. But yeah, these beers just make me really excited, if I'm honest. Really, really excited. Joey says, "I'll see if I can bring some Great Lakes beer over there when I visit coming up. If you come to the States and hit up Cleveland, let me know, man. I will hook you up." I've actually got family in Dayton, in Ohio. So I don't know how far that is from Cleveland, but there's a chance. There is a chance.
Same state.
Yeah, but the thing is, their states are like double the size of England.
There's half a chance. Not like you go, "I've got family in Milwaukee."
Yeah. No, there is half a chance. Mersey Beer says that is Uta from The Simpsons. Don't make me run. I'm full of chocolate. He was an epic exchange, stupid Mersey. David Wilson says, I just looked up the 6 on Google. Yeah, there's like, David, you'll see on there, there's like all these like laws protecting the beers and all the rest of it. It's quite a strict thing. And they call the event, it's called like the Wurst or something. It's called like, there's a German word for like the actual event or the streets where they can, or inside the event where they can serve the beers. But there's laws protected and stuff. It's quite serious. Jack Bandit, hello mate, I haven't seen you in a little while. Talking of Milwaukee. Jack is from Milwaukee. Jack says, dropping in to say hi. I've been driving up to Green Bay shortly. There you go. Oh, is it Wisconsin? You might be from Wisconsin. I might have just insulted you there. I might have insulted you. David Wilson says, hi, Jack Bandit. And then Joey says, Dayton is like 3 hours away. I've got boys down there. Let me know. I could travel. Mate, I'll let you know. We haven't booked the flights yet because we're going to be traveling in next September. So my cousin's getting married in Chicago. Then we've got a big road trip planned. So yeah, we can't book the flights until October because they work 11 months, don't they? But yeah, caught up with the comments again. So let's get this Francis corner open.
I'm halfway down mine. Come on.
It's just, I bet it's really nice, isn't it?
It's very nice.
What I did.
Sorry, go on.
No, I was going to say what I didn't say was when I opened the pack just to check what it was. They did send me not this bottle owner, but a bottle owner of this style, and it was an Ayinger one. The free. Thank you, Belgian beer.
Where is it?
Have you got one?
I've got a very similar one. I have got a Duvel one.
Oh,
awesome. And I learned this week, someone commented on one of my videos who works for said beer company.
No way.
We finally have an answer. It's Duvel, not Duvel.
Right, okay.
Which means I've been saying it wrong for years, but you know, that's nothing new there. If I say it a certain way, it's probably not the right way. It's normally the way it goes. So
look at that.
That is foamy. It's good though. It's very nice.
Yeah, it's just really nice.
Very nice.
So what's the bank holiday got in store for you, Tom? What we saying, mate?
Well, if you recall, this time last week we were sat here just on my channel, but we were both sat here, and I was somewhat miserable about the fact that I had to go out and be sociable instead of just going to Blue Monkey's inaugural mini tap room at their brewery. Well, guess what I'm doing tomorrow?
Blue Monkey.
Oh yes,
yes. There we go.
Down. I don't know how many of the crew are going to be down there because, as you were saying before I joined, it's beer festival galore this weekend. There's one in Nottingham. It's like there's an open area on the outskirts of Nottingham city centre that's hosting a beer festival. It's one of the, when you hear about a beer festival for the first time 3 weeks before it's happening, I instantly don't trust it.
Yes.
And that happened, and I was like, and you had to buy tickets in advance, and I was like, I saw Blue Monkey were going, which is normally a good sign, but I couldn't find out who else was going, so I was like, no, I'm not gonna. When I know I can go to Blue Monkey's tap room and have probably a better experience with less people there, I'm gonna go do that. So yes, tomorrow afternoon I'm gonna go and enjoy a few Blue Monkey beers. The tap room's it's a pop-up tap room. It's only open from midday till 4.
Yeah,
and qualifying for the Belgian Grand Prix starts at 3. So I'm going to be there as soon as it opens, and then try and get back for probably just after 3. Because let's be honest, the first 20 minutes of qualifying is a bit null and void. So spend 3 hours there, come home, enjoy that. Don't know what we're going to do tomorrow night, not sure. And then I've got a bit of Sunday again, first Grand Prix back after summer break, so it's all a bit exciting. And there's host of penalties been handed out, which means it's going to be an interesting race.
Yes, I did see that.
So I think it'll be a good one. Not meant to rain on Sunday, unlike last year where we got no racing. So, and it's my favourite track, hence why there's a picture of it there. There you go, that one.
When was the last time you went, Crumb? Because we've talked about this often, haven't we? Going to Spa and stuff. I
want to say 19.
Oh, relatively recent then.
Yeah. 2019.
I think my first. Mine was the year. I went a few times before this, But mine was the year where it went, Nico hit me. Do you remember when Nico
Yeah,
clipped
yeah.
Lewis?
I was there. It was good.
It was that,
but that wasn't. That was the year Nico won. So that was 16.
was it? Yeah, I can't remember.
Pretty
now.
sure. I'm pretty sure.
Then whatever it was the Nico hit me year.
It was, and I was on that corner. It was great.
I was literally up. I was on the straight. It's not Hanger. It's not Wellington.
They're both at Silverstone. That's why.
Kemmel.
Kemmel done. The Kemmel's the big back straight at Spa.
Off Eau Rouge.
Or is it the top straight? Oh no, it is Kemmel. Sorry. Yeah. So I was in Le Con, which is the corner at the end of the straight.
I would have been literally 100 meters away from you.
Yeah, we probably walked past each other all weekend. Never know. Crazy.
I'll tell you what, Le Com is hilarious because that's where people set up those. So for the people that don't know, Belgium or Spa is the most liberal Formula One track I've ever been to. We took bikes in there one year. But what people do on race day, you buy general admission tickets. So generally, you buy general admission tickets. There's loads of general standing, isn't there, Tom?
There is
and people were carrying in, those like collapsible or movable scaffolds.
Yeah,
people would like come as like a group of 10, and everyone would have like a couple of poles or a side section, and they'll set up like a scaffold.
Yeah, they didn't. I've not seen that since that year. So whether that was just a particularly ingenious set of people who then didn't go back, or whether they stopped it, I don't know. But yes, that did happen. Yeah,
hilarious. Where do you camp when you go there, Tom? Do you camp at Elephant?
No, I go normally just F1 official because it's right next to the entrance for that corner.
Right.
There's you probably won't if you did you normally come in through the entrance by the grid?
Yes, just the Le Com hairpin top bit.
Oh, you came in at the top?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. So if you come so I did as well, but if you kind of like go, there's the bit where you queue up to get into that gate, and then like there's another grass track that runs parallel to it,
right?
And just behind that is where the F1 official camping is. Well worth doing, and it's you can probably get cheaper than on some of those, but you have to get like 8 buses, and it's always just a pain in the ass.
We camp at one called Camping 86 or Camping 68. I can never remember which one, but it's 2 doors down from the Italian restaurant that's got the helipad.
Okay, yeah.
And that helipad serves as the official helipad for the track because Spa doesn't have a helipad. So you'll be cooking your breakfast and frying your bacon, and all of a sudden you hear, and then you'll see a helicopter land. You down your tools. It's literally a 2-minute run or jog away, and they'll be like Lewis Hamilton, Danny Ricciardo, no security or anything, just getting in the cars. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool.
That is cool.
Joey says, "Okay, sweet. By then we should all be YouTube millionaires, bro." Flipping heck, mate. I've no. We can have an international banger. Yeah, that'd be good. That would be good. Thomas, how you doing, mate? I haven't seen you in a little while. Hi, everyone. Please give me $1 million. Well, Joey apparently is going to be a YouTube millionaire by then, so he's probably your best bet, mate.
Hold on, Thomas. I've got the inner roll from a roll of dog poo bags.
I was going to say I recognise that thing anywhere.
I have an individual dog poo bag. I have some kitchen roll that's been in my pocket for about 8 weeks, and a singular bottle cap from a very nice beer called Franziskaner. That is what I can offer you towards your 8 million. You're only 999,999.99 pounds away.
I was going to say I can offer you one of those £1 million, Tom. An empty box for a sum up machine. So technically, you probably could scam someone using that for £1 million. And half a tin of Dulux paint.
Oh, I've got one of them next door as well.
Do you remember when was it Mrs. Corrie Beard said, "I like the paint colour," and I was like, "Yeah, it's this one."
Which colour is it?
Natural slate. Yeah,
I think that's about to go in my lounge. To be honest, I think she likes it a lot.
There we go. It's probably about right on screen, actually. Sometimes things look darker or lighter, but
Yeah,
it's about
looks
right.
all right. It's nice. It's nice.
Thomas says, golf shake.
Golf shake.
David says, hi, Thomas. Thomas in the house, says Joey. And then Joey says, I've got a $35 US dollar cash, a medical marijuana card in my wallet. The electronic stuff is where it's at, though. Yeah. You want to be scamming. No, you don't want to be scamming. Ignore me.
Don't do that. Don't do that. Well, the electronic stuff's good unless it's crypto and you bought it a year ago and now it's worth nothing. So that would be good too. I definitely didn't do that.
That all bottomed out now. Is that all gone?
It's not gone. It's sat lingering at a not very optimal level at this point.
Did you get involved at all?
A little bit. Got to be careful what I say here. But yeah, no, it's not. I've not ruined my life with it. I had to experiment with it just to see what happens. It turns out you can lose some money. That's what I found out. That was fun. Yeah, it's an interesting idea. I like it principally. It's a bit volatile. That's the problem.
Yeah, that was always a risk, I think, with it, wasn't it? The volatility of it, but you never know if the economy starts going the way they say it might. People look for safe havens, don't they? Investing safe havens. You never know. Crypto might go on a bit of a resurgence, or is it
could well do. Yeah, I mean, yeah. Currently, your entire wage is going to go on using your toaster. So,
well, apparently,
that's what I've heard. I was like, can't wait. Thanks.
I'll tell you what, Thomas. I can also give you this book called "Brewing Beers Like Those You Buy."
It's a good book.
From
quite good at brewing beers, as far as I know.
You can brew Wadsworths, Theakston's, Tetleys.
Which Theakston's recipe have they got in
there? What Theakston's? You got Oakham Ruddle's Best. You can do Samuel Smith Tadcaster, Shepherd Neame. Hold on, Shepherd Neame what? Best bitter. Theakston's. You've got Old Peculiar. Their best bitter. And you've got Wadworth 6X. Anyone want me to look any up?
I don't know. Give me shout out some more breweries and we'll see if they've got
Bass.
No.
Bass, Charrington, Carling, Black Label.
No one wants that.
No one does want that. There's Carlsberg Special Brew in there.
Oh, jeez. Take a bottle of vodka and put it in a barrel.
Oh, Courage, yeah. Courage Imperial Russian Stout. Crushed pale malt, crushed crystal malt, crushed chocolate malt, crushed black malt. Fuggles hops.
It's about as basic a stout recipe as you get. It's good.
It is, isn't it? Green King? No.
No.
My blood. My
what
blood.
I'm learning is someone's bought Mark a book on how to brew beers you don't want to drink.
Yeah. How to brew beers like those that you buy if you were 75.
Or 17, but nothing in the middle. I overheard a conversation today. There was a guy who sorts what goes on taps at he kind of part-time runs the, I don't know, what do you call it? It's not quite Miners' Welfare, but the old gents club in whatever town he lives in.
Oh, the old working men's club?
Yeah. But it's North Nottinghamshire, so it's like it maybe should have been a Miners' Welfare, but wasn't, if that makes sense. But anyway, I don't know. It's some halfway house between the two.
Talking of Yorkshire.
I wasn't talking about Yorkshire, but carry on.
Oh, I thought you said Yorkshire, but talking of Yorkshire, we've got someone from Yorkshire. Hello, mate.
Hey, dude. I don't know if you can hear me or see me.
We can hear you and see you.
Hear you and see you.
Yeah. I'm on the seafront, walking along. There's is it heron? No, not heron. Black one's called out on the sea. No, not
heron.
The heron is the black
thing. Well, they're called. I forgot the name of them. Mine's gone blank. Lovely boozer here. And
Smell.
yeah, I've just had a week's holiday, and now I've got another week's holiday.
You bougie bee. No one's getting
Oh,
any
I'm
beer.
losing you.
That's a nice shot of his ear there. That was good. Show us the boozer.
I can't hear. What are you saying?
Show us the boozer.
Oh, screenshot that.
Okay, they've not got signal on the.
You've all frozen. I'll tell you what.
Yet.
You sexy ginger man, what you say?
I said, show us the boozer.
He's there, look. Big old pub.
That's
No.
probably.
Well,
been
I
a
haven't
pub for
been there
like
yet.
1 year, it's not it?
Are you going?
Right. I'll tell you what. The internet's on in Yorkshire on the coast. We can't afford full internet. Yeah.
Hi, Liz.
I'm gonna when we get back to the house. If you're still going and sober, I'll join you.
Sounds good.
Have a good one.
All right.
Speak to you soon, mate.
Cheers, guys.
Love you and leave you. Have fun. Bye.
Bye. Don't know why I went high pitch there. I just thought.
Bye. Tom turned into every grandma when you pull away from your drive when you were a kid. Bye.
I think it was one of those like, how can I help him realize that we've said bye to him because he can't hear us? Thought maybe high pitched will help because clearly normal tone is very good. Yeah, there you go. John is at the seaside with no signal.
That's it. There we go. That is it. It's Yorkshire for you. George Anderson, hello, mate. Good evening, all. Cheers to you, George. Happy Friday, mate. I hope you're well.
I can't remember what the fish is.
Yeah.
Can't remember what the fish is.
Joey says I did a show on crypto a couple of years back and bought $1 worth of Bitcoin as a joke. That same dollars is now worth 35 cents. Lol.
You got it.
That
is the state of affairs.
See, Joey is a third of the way around the world, and even he said, "Bro, even bums don't want carling." It's true.
Who knows?
David says, "Hi, John." Joey says, "Hey, it's the guy from Lord's Brewing."
It is that man.
Joey also says, "Is he about to swim the English Channel?" He'd have probably a 4-hour drive to get there at the moment because he's way up there. Way up on the eastern coast. Matt Hall says Guillemot. Is that a brewery that you want me to have a look at, Matt?
No, that is the bird that John was trying to remember the name of.
See, it turns out my old brewery knowledge and my wildlife knowledge is as bad as each other. So, Joey says, "Bro, take the channel. I heard it's a lot faster. Find some local hotties and tell them to top." Oh God. David says, "Hi, Lydia." Henry says, "John, brother, can hardly see the screen right now as the sun is directly blazing against the stream." Oh, the screen.
It's true.
There you go.
Aye.
We're caught up again.
Having a nice holiday.
Yeah, it's all right for Sam, isn't it? 2 on the bounce.
Yeah, why is he getting 2 weeks off? What is this? This is John. I'm always too busy. Now I've got 2 weeks off. What's this?
Yeah, I know. And I spoke to him earlier, and he said it's full on holiday mode. I think he's going to crack the laptop open for a couple of bits, but he is chilling out.
That's good. I like this.
Yeah,
this is probably the best thing. I can't say anything because as of next week when we go karting again and make fools of ourselves,
I'm not going.
I'm on a holiday for like 10 days. So
I'm not going.
You're not going? You're really not going?
Yeah, not going. My van's in for repair. It was due out. I sent the thing to John. I haven't released the news yet to see you're finding out. My van's due out of the repair shop the day before, but the problem is they were saying because parts are so sparse at the moment, they're missing parts. But the problem is, off the back of this, we're going on holiday the next day. So Motormouth's on the 1st. We're meant to be going on holiday in the van that's in the repair shop waiting for parts on the 2nd, with Motormouth being the 1st.
Yeah. But hold on. So when's it meant to be fixed?
It's meant to be. It's meant to be the 31st. So on the 7th, I had Van to Hammonds. Oh, sorry, 17th. I had Van to Hammonds, 14-day hire vehicle.
Right.
But they can't get the parts. So I'm screaming at them, saying I could just as well not go and go-karting, just about, because I was really looking forward to it, not driving in the snow.
No.
But yeah, we're meant to be going away on the 2nd to the New Forest.
So
yeah.
Are you definitely out, or is there a chance?
If they say to me, your van's not going to be ready till the 16th, then I'll but I've already given away my slot. John's already sold my slot.
Okay, that's interesting. I don't know who to.
You will know who to.
Do I? I've got. I mean, I know who it should go to, but I don't know if it's the person it has gone to.
The fastest female YouTube wife.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Good. I'm glad. Yeah. I'm glad.
Okay. And I'm glad as well, because I was like, John, I just need to like pull out now so you can sell the ticket.
Yeah.
But
I mean, this is bad for me because I now might be the slowest, so I'm not very happy about this. But other than that, it's fine.
There we go.
But otherwise, I'm sad. I'm sad.
I'm sad because I'm really looking forward to it, and I loved it last time. And being there with like Jimmy Broadbent, Steve Brown, who's an absolute legend.
Not being able to watch you get absolutely punted into the first corner again.
Yeah, yellow flags waving, and Jimmy Broadbent punts me up the arse.
Yeah, what I was thinking of doing this time is that when they wave yellow flags, I'm not going to do what they do in all motorsport that I watch on telly. I'm just going to keep going full chat.
Yeah, straight into the back of someone.
Apparently, them's the rules as far as I can tell from last time. So,
but that's his thing, isn't it? He's horrendous. You could tell he was horrendously competitive. But yeah, fair play to him. Joey says you guys get like 10 weeks holiday from what we get.
So they get the US get nothing. The US get absolutely nothing. They get 2 weeks off, I think.
What, paid?
Yeah, that's it.
Jeez.
And so I used to work for a US company, and we used to get 28 days. No, not 28. Yes, 28. Yes, we did. Got 28 days off a year, but that I didn't get UK bank holidays or anything. So if you worked it out, I was net about 4 or 5 days worse off than working for a UK company.
Ugh.
But then we got into a weird position where I was annoyed because obviously I got less holiday than everyone else. But in their eyes, they're being really generous because they gave double what the rest of the US gave.
Yeah, bit of an issue.
No, it wasn't. No, sorry, it wasn't 28 days. It was 20 days. Sorry, it was equivalent of four working weeks. But most US companies only give 10 days, 2 working weeks.
But I've been self-employed pretty much since I left school, so I've getting paid holiday for me is not a thing.
Yeah, been there, done that. It's fun sometimes.
Has its advantages sometimes.
It does, yeah, for sure.
Right. On we go. This week, I've just cracked one of the new beers.
You sunk that. Hold on, we just finished the Francis con at the same time, and you cracked it open as I was halfway down. You sunk that one.
Shh! Don't. My wife might hear.
What you got now?
I've just gone to this Roosters Session New England IPA. Newish into Waitrose.
Okay, interesting. Are Roosters an American brewery, or have I made that up?
Brewed and canned in the United Kingdom by Roosters Brewery.
No, then.
HG2 8QT. Is that going to be Harrogate? HG or Huddersfield?
No, HG will be Harrogate.
Yeah.
Oh, not familiar. Okay, cool.
But no, it's very sort of American branding, isn't it?
Yeah, that's what I thought. It seems a bit. What do I drink now? Okay,
it looks good.
It does look all right. I'm getting to a bit of a
about
problem.
3.5.
I'm getting to a bit of a problem in my beer stash in that I want to drink my entire beer stash before buying more stuff. But now I'm getting to the point where we've only got 10% left, and it could get quite difficult.
Yeah.
We're not actually there yet, but it's getting close.
I was literally talking to Disco about this. So I've kind of put myself on a beer buying ban. So I kind of
I kind of done the same.
because it got to the point where I was buying it faster than I was putting it away.
Yes. Oh yeah, for sure. Easily done. Easily done.
Well, I have to say, for what is it, 3.6? Look at the sediment.
See, I'm going to have a quick poll in the chat, please. Do people like that much floaty shit in their beer?
I love it because when you get to the bottom, you can really swish it around. It's like an uber concentrated version of that beer you just drunk.
It doesn't taste. It doesn't really taste too much because it's just
It's more
used up yeast.
mouthfeel, I suppose.
I find it a bit weird. I don't like gritty beer. Don't get me wrong. I like haze. I like thick hazy beer, but you know when it's chunky, I'm not keen. I'll be honest. Anyway, that's just me.
That is a cracking beer.
Yeah.
Sub 4%.
Since I'm going back to Scotland very soon, I'm going to try and deplete my Scottish collection some more. Here we have from Cairngorm,
Yeah.
Black Gold.
And what is that? The stout?
That is a traditional Scottish milk stout, 4.4%. Yeah, I've had it before. It's solid. It's good. I can't remember where I'm at in my video release cycle to know which ones where I can talk about before for it to make sense.
I have a Cairngorm bag.
Do you? Oh, you say you do. Where did you pick that up? Was it in the Cairngorm?
My parents went up to Aviemore for a holiday, and they were like, "There's this brewery up here called Cairngorm." And I was like, "Yes!" I was like, "Please!" I was like, "Please!" So they brought me back a selection of beers.
Cairngorm are good, and Cairngorm also do the packaging for almost. I'm not going to say every. The Cairngorm do the packaging for the majority of smaller breweries in the Highlands.
I feel like the Cairngorm are bigger than you think they would be.
Yeah, for sure. They do a lot of outsourcing. They've got their own big canning line, bottling lines, that sort of stuff. So they do. I know they do all of. So they don't do Black Isle stuff because Black Isle are probably bigger or similar size, but they certainly do all of Glen Speen stuff. I think they do Loch Ness's stuff.
Yeah,
and then there's a host of other breweries kind of dotted along that strip up Loch Ness towards Inverness, and I think it all goes into Cairngorm. But yeah, interesting.
Let's get some wee comments then. Joey says you get like 10 weeks holiday from what we hear. Joey says we don't get that kind of time off, so we just slack at work.
Well, that's an interesting point. Have you heard about the latest alleged revolution at work? And I'm
Not
now trying to now, you know when you say something and you realise you should have come equipped with the actual facts before you said it. That's just happened. There's a new alleged trend. So there was the great a year or so ago. It was definitely a tech company thing more than anything else. But we're talking about the Great Resignation, where kind of just post lockdowns and stuff, a load of people have basically realised that they don't want to spend their life stuck behind a computer screen in a dull office, and we're just leaving, not for any good reason other than that's not what they wanted to do with their life, and that was it. So that was one thing. And now we're going through, apparently they're going through a similar thing, and I can't remember what it's being coined, which is really annoying. I feel like it's being coined something like the Great Disconnect or something. But basically, people have just decided to start doing the bare minimum at work. Literally,
doing it or started doing it.
Just started doing the bare minimum
because everyone had their wages paid for 6 months, and then all of a sudden they got to work for it.
This is a problem. But yeah, allegedly, this is a thing. People have just now decided that. I do feel like with cost of living issues, it's become a little bit like the old adage for communism, which is they pretend to pay us, so we pretend to work.
Yeah.
It feels like a bit like that, which apparently is something that's becoming a thing. Yeah. So people basically just do enough work to not get fired, but nothing more. So, yes.
Who knew lockdowns would have done this, eh? Henry said it's bloody annoying, but then again, I'm not slating the sun. No, you can't slate the sun, mate. To be fair, you probably can slate it after this year because it's been bloody brutal, that sunshine.
Oh, it's horrible. Horrible.
Joey says they're missing parts to the point where NASCARs don't even have backup cars.
I don't want to take I don't want to take us off on a tangent because everyone will leave. But did you watch it?
I watched highlights of Kimi crashing.
You mean highlights of Kimi being punted? He did not make a mistake.
Don't you talk about my Kimi like that?
He took a car a lap until he got taken out bullishly by someone who didn't want a doddery old European who's never driven the car before to win, as far as I can tell.
I'll tell you what, it's funny because we bumped into at Spa. It was at Spa. It was it's called like the F1 Hotel or something. And we bumped into a Finnish guy there. He was absolutely battered, as you can probably imagine. And he was saying, I used to watch Kimi when he was a kid, driving those shitty little cars. And Kimi used to like drive these stock cars basically on ice tracks. And he said he'd win everything. He said he'd get out of that one, then he'd jump in another series car, he'd win that. And this guy was like, he can drive anything, like this guy.
Oh, he can, yeah. Do you know he won a snowmobile competition and he wasn't allowed, when he was contracted at Ferrari, he wasn't allowed to enter things off season in case he hurt himself. But he entered a snowmobile competition under the name James Hunt.
He is like a tempered James Hunt, isn't he? I like it.
We'll end the Kimi praise here, but I'll just say like Schumacher's my racing hero. Kimi's like my life hero. Like everything he does, I'm just like, it's so good. He just gets hammered basically, and I like it.
I was taking a shit. Joey says, when I started with government, I got like 2 weeks vacation and 2 weeks sick leave every year. When I was in the private sector working my way through college, I only got 1 week's pay, no time off, lol. So do you have to take just holidays unpaid then, I presume? I presume that's a thing. Matt Hall says roosters are in Harrogate. Right, so the theory behind the postal codes was correct. Joey said there are 0 laws mandating time off in the States. It's why everyone here is so miserable. Cool, you want to live here then, mate. Henry says looks nice, that craft beer. I'll tell you what, for a 3.6 beer, any beer that's sub 4% that can produce this level of flavour, I'm a fan of. And this is really, really quite nice. Matt Hall says Roosters Yankee on cask is epic. I've not had anything. I've only ever had Roosters canned. Don't know about you, Tom.
I can't think of anything from them. There's a good chance I have and not remembered, but yeah, I'm not sure.
Right, yeah, but I mean, yeah, never. I'd never had anything on cask from Roosters or keg to that fact. Where's it after Thingy had a mad one? Dave Wilson said, I'd rather they removed it in reference to the sediment.
Yeah.
It's fair. I think it's some people like it, some people don't. I think I just like the novelty of it, if I'm honest. I'm a craft beer fan, so we're all about novelty, aren't we? I suppose. Simo's in. Good evening. Hello, mate.
Hello, mate.
Hope you well, Simo. Quiet quitting.
That is the term. Thank you, Jerry.
There we go.
Quitting is what I was trying to find.
We do the bare minimum to stay employed. Don't go above and beyond. There we go.
There's a thing, apparently.
Oh, Simo. I've got a keg of Spartan Oktoberfest loaded and ready to go. Let's get messy.
Right, send him the link. I need to hear Simo ranting halfway through a keg of Spartan Oktoberfest.
5.9% as well. Is that in the PD? Is Spartan Oktoberfest on the PD? It's got to be.
Might be. Yeah, I think Spartan do some PD stuff.
Because I know Simo loves his PD.
Send him the link. We can all just sit back in deck chairs like Alonso at the side of the track and watch Simo go.
I should do, shouldn't I? I'm going to do it right now.
Do it right now.
Where is he? Simo, where are you?
Paul's take on Simo is still the best that I can't even start.
Right, Simo, I've sent you the link, mate. Beer Fan TV.
I'll say this is a new channel.
This is a new channel.
This is new to me. Hi, Beer Fan TV. How you doing?
Hi, Beer Fan. Hope you're well, mate. Thanks for coming in. if anybody's in the chat, go and have a look at Beer Fan TV, which is exactly what I'm going to do after this stream.
I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it right now because my keyboard's in front of me. Let's have a quick look. Beer Fan TV.
Henry 420 says, Simo Sups, good evening, Simo. Simo says, I read to Henry. Henry 420 says, Beer Fan TV, hey. He says, for sure, man, Mark. Yeah, I know, mate. Simo says, hi, Simo. Sorry, Simo. David Wilson says, hi, Simo. Beer Fan. Everyone says hello.
I think it's a rebrand.
Oh, is it?
Because I'm already subscribed to them.
Oh.
So, what did you used to be called?
Henry says, Simmer Sups, how are you, man? Joey says, Simmer in the house. Simmer follows that with, hello, Mr. Wilson. Good, Henry 420. Bloody shout out, but roll on the long weekend. Simmer, when I started this stream, I totally forgot it was a bank holiday. It was only when, who was it? I think Disco said about it. And I was like, extra day on the beers. How we like that? Simmer says, how are you doing, Joey? How was the wrestling, bud? Joey says, doing good, brother. It was fun and longer than I thought. It went like 5 hours. Jeez, man. Henry says, good to hear, Simo. And he said, not shat a bit, but you know what I mean. So do we know what Beer Fan TV was called before it became Beer Fan TV?
It could have always been that, and I've just lost track. So I done a quick scroll here. It's a lot of PD stuff.
Yep.
Which might explain why it doesn't show up in my feed a lot, because I don't have one, so I don't watch that many of the reviews. But I can't tell. Their first review was Club Tropicana a year ago. Also, they've done something right, much better than we have by reviewing Perfect Draft stuff, because like every one of their videos has got like 1,000 to 3,000 views on it.
That's good.
It's impressive.
It's such an impressive bit of kit, the PD. You're going to get a lot of people. Obviously, imagine the amount they sell a week, and people looking for reviews and stuff. It's probably a nice little niche, actually.
It's true.
Beer Fan says, always been Beer Fan. Well, Beer Fan, I don't think I've seen you here before. If you have been here before, I do apologise, but thank you, mate, for coming.
I've just got a terrible memory, clearly.
Yeah,
I've been
honestly
for a while by the look of it. So
I'm the same. If someone saying instructions to me, I'm like, all of a sudden it kind of goes to that movie thing where everything starts swirling around and all I hear is echoes, and then I forget everything. Henry says, be right back. Still tuned in. Tom, I'm going to go for a wee.
Okay, I think this is quite a lot of time, because I'm shortly going to have to do the same and go and let Dictionary Corner into the house because the dogs are running free at the minute. So always got. He's
out for a wee, is she?
Indeed, yes. He's gone already. Right, let me pick up the comments to where are we at? Are we really far back? We're not really far back. We've got one more. Beer Fan says, new guys. He says, thanks for the warm welcome. Welcome, Beer Fan TV. Thanks for joining. What you got on the PD at the minute, Beer Fan TV? Anything exciting? What's going on? What you drinking tonight? I've got no new comments to talk about. Mark's done the eloquent thing of just leaving me with nothing to go on. So what am I going to talk about? Well, has anyone got any Scottish brewery recommendations that I haven't already featured? Because I'm going again in a week and a bit's time, and I'm probably going to end up pretty much all over the country. So, yeah, if there's anywhere, especially if they've got a brewery shop that I should check out, please let me know, because as you all know, I do be loving some Scottish beer. Has anyone said what they're doing for the bank holiday weekend? I feel like it's something that's come up, but not a lot of answers come in. So if you've got anything exciting going on, if you're going to a beer festival, pop it in the comments. I realised I started answering Mark on what I was doing this weekend, but yeah, going to local brewery, pop up tap room tomorrow, Grand Prix Sunday, and then Monday there's a tiny pub over by where my dad lives, and they've got like a little beer festival stroke music thing going on, and the beers they're doing there are normally pretty damn good anyway. So I think that is what I will do on Monday, unless of course Dictionary Corner can find something else for me to do, which is always possible. I think I've got to do some DIY shopping in the morning. Always fun. But yeah, not a lot else. It's been a while since I've seen Mark's little get-up, actually. So let's have a little look in the background, see what we can identify. He's got a very dazzling Lord's t-shirt with, I think that's Paul's logo on the left sleeve. He's got a very big spanky paddle with a lot of beer caps on it, which is interesting. He's got the beer monster that is covered in stickers. I never clocked that before. I'm going to find out what those stickers are. Anyone know what that thing on the right is underneath the spanky paddle and to the right of the beer monster? It seems to have some cans in it, but I don't really know what it is. I am not sure. There's obviously a load of beer mats hung up, and then there's a lot of beer cans, but also, is that a mouse top left, one row down? Is that a mouse? I do not know. I really hope Mark arrives back in a moment, because I also need to use the little boy's room and to let Dictionary Corner into the house. So if he doesn't arrive back in about 30 seconds time, then you're just going to have to sit in silence for a moment, unfortunately. Beer Fan TV says that he's on the Cervezas 360 Pale Ale. So lovely drop. I've not tried that, to be honest, but glad you're enjoying it, sir. Glad you're enjoying it. Oh, one of my dogs is making funny noises. Which one of you is it? I'm not sure. They're both being very quiet. Mark's just left. He's gone forever. It must be a big P. That's all I can say.
Sorry, Tom.
Oh, he's back. It's all right. It's going to be a tag team effort, because I now need to go and do the same and let her in. So I will let you go.
Let her in.
Let her in. I've got to let her in. I've got to open the door for her. It's locked. See you in a minute.
See you in a minute, mate. There we go. Thanks, Tom, for holding the fort, mate. What a legend he is. I absolutely love Tom. Beer Fan TV, guys. Thank you for the warm welcome, mate. No worries, mate. Like, guaranteed it here, mate. Guaranteed it here. He says, I'm on the Cerveza 360 Pale Ale. I've never heard of that. I've never heard of that. I hope it's nice, mate. Is it? I presume it's Mexican, being Cerveza or Spanish. What am I on? I'm on this. What's everybody drinking? Let me know. Because the reason I say that, what's everybody drinking? Because I know we've got some serious beer heads in here. When people put in what they're drinking, I make a mental note, and if I go on a bottle shop website, I try and buy those beers that you're drinking. But I'm drinking this time. It's called Go Backer. There you go. From Roosters. This was from Waitrose. I think it's about £3. It's a 3.6% Session New England IPA. It's probably not a style. I say not a style I'd choose to drink. I've bought the can, but it's not a style that I would necessarily rip off the shelf. But this is, I feel, quite a good version of that style, if you know what I mean. I don't know if, yeah, there we go. So quite nice. Definitely one of the better 4% beers I think I've had ever, actually. It's really quite nice. David Wilson. Are you ill, David? What's wrong? David says not drinking yet. Tom's in. Hello, Tom. He says, not quite as good as the Lager Logs, but really still enjoying the show. I believe Tom is one of the Lager Logs. If you haven't seen the Lager Logs, they are not a duet, because that's the wrong word. They're a double act, and they are a double act. You've got Stu and Tom, lovely guys. Go and check the Lager Logs out. It's their 2-year anniversary tomorrow, so I'm hoping to be on the stream. I believe it's from 7 till 9. Good lads, especially I say especially Tom. Tom just starts wearing some random things like nurses' outfits and things, like sexy nurses' outfits. Honestly, you see it to believe it. It's one of those things. But yeah, if you could let me know what you're drinking, that'd be awesome. I don't know where I'm going to go after this. I did pull out a few. I've got like a few of the old like sort of fridge warmers like this. That's probably well after its best before. Stuart Brewing. I don't know. Like I've got some of. I've even got one of these. Vocation Triple IPA. If I'm honest, that's out soon. That goes out soon. the 30th of August. I want to do a hop fade. I want to do a hop fade video with this. And I want to, because it's got Calypso, Columbus, and Citra hops. I've had this for such a long time, and there's never a good time to drink a 10% triple IPA. But do you know what I mean? They're like heavy going, aren't they? So what I want to do, because they still sell this, they still brew it. So what I want to do is buy a new one and an old one and put them together. So that's kind of like my idea with that. Sticky Pop. Might do that actually from Magic Rock. Now I can drink it without worrying where the money's going to go. What's this? Well, got a beer in France called Hopster. And it's got a French gold. Honestly, I've got so many beers there. I just forget what I've got. But what's that? That's Scotch whiskey. I've just got so much stuff. But yeah, there we go. Simo says, sorry, forgot I was cooking some grub and may have burnt it. You all right, mate? Not a problem at all. There we go. So yeah, so I'm really excited about these Oktoberfest beers. Has anyone got a favourite? I struggle to look past Hofbrau. I really do. I just know that's going to be amazing. The only thing is they're all strong. So I think generally Oktoberfest beers tend to sit around 6%, don't they, Tom?
I believe so.
So I think these are all going to be around 6%. So yeah, you got 6.3, 6.1 from Lowenbrau. Then the Spaten is 5.9. Good luck, Simo, tonight, mate. Erdinger is not specified. It's got to be specified.
It'll be on there.
5.7.
There you go.
The Hackerschwar 5.8. So yeah, they all are around the 6% mark. I've been on a right Oktoberfest beer education, and then the mute Paulaner is bang on the money at 6.
I mean, that's session ale by Belgian standards. Maybe not by German, but
mate, even by Belgian standards. I mean, my mate Sean, who brings over the beers from Belgium, he'll all right, Mark. He's from Manchester. All right, Mark, do you want some beer? And he normally sees me when I'm pissed because he normally gets home on a Friday night quite late. He'll come around our house or we'll go around his. And you're pretty well, you've greased the wheels by that time. The next thing you know, it starts getting the triples out that are like 11%. You're like, mate, I just can't do it.
We've been witness to this. It was good.
You saw it on the stream one time.
We've seen it, yes. That and I'll never forget I'm saying in this pint of Pringles. It's my favourite thing I've ever heard.
Was that me that said that?
Yeah. A pint of Pringles. He had a pint glass full of Pringles. No one knows why.
Oh, David Wilson. Hold on.
Cheeky.
Remember to put Optimum in the fridge for later.
Oh, that's a point. Here's a shout out for Sierra Nevada fans. As a part of my daily routines now for my beer offers website, I obviously go through and do some updates. And I noticed today that Sierra Nevada have got 3 or 4 new beers on Cascade Club.
Is one of them the summer? What's it called?
Yes,
summer.
Let's have a look.
It's not called a summer ale because I feel like they've done one of those before. I feel like it's a bit of a special thing.
Look
at Simo, look. Just whacked my glass in the freezer. Got Lowenbrau Oktoberfest loaded on the other PD now.
Simo's not going to wake up tomorrow.
Simo, have you got a spare bed for the night, mate? I'll drive up.
What have we got? What was new? So they had Who Run Bartertown. Don't know what that is. Well, we can find out. It's a 7.8% something. It's a very hoppy stone fruit, berry, and citrus style beer. They don't give a defined style for it. What else was new? This you're now relying on my memory here. Oh, liquid hoppiness IPA.
Liquid hoppiness.
So one was called liquid hoppiness, 7%. Ride the rapids of liquid hoppiness is how the description starts.
I feel like with Sierra Nevada, the names of their beers wouldn't work at any other brewery, but it works at Sierra Nevada.
It does, yeah. And the final one was the Summerfest beer.
Summerfest, that's the one, yeah.
Bohemian Pilsner, so obviously it's a bit of a Oktoberfest, not quite Oktoberfest thing.
They'll just be really good beers.
5% on the nose.
And Tom, using beer-offers.com, can you?
Yes.
How much is one of those Summerfest beers?
It's £2.80.
What?
355 mil, given its oddity Sierra Nevada American volumes. But yes, I will chuck it in the chat if it will. Am I a mod on your stream?
If you're not, you should be.
Well, let's find out.
I feel like you are.
Let's paste and see what happens. Here we go. I'm not, so that probably didn't work. But you can probably copy and paste it if you wanted to.
Right. Let me write that wrong.
Write that wrong. Don't worry. I'm terrible at. I've no idea who's a mod on my channel. It's probably loads of people who shouldn't be.
I've got bloody clue. Can you just comment something, just so I can click on you and?
I just have. Did it not? Let me just give you a yo. There you go.
Yeah, there he is. Add moderator. If anyone else wants to be a moderator, let me know. Henry, you can have it.
Yeah.
Joey, you can have it.
Cheeky refresh. See if I now
Simo,
have the
you can have
power.
it.
Oh, I have the
David
power.
Matt Hall.
There you go.
If I'm missing anybody out, let me know. If you want to be a moderator, let me know.
There is the beer we're talking about in the chat. Boom. Boom, boom.
I've not done that for a long time. I think I had about one or two moderators, and it was like my mum and my dad.
I like that you get them involved. It's good.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah. I love it.
Speaking of mums and dads, my dad's been messaging me while I've been on air. Right.
Yes.
On air like it's some important TV scheduling program. But anyway, since we've been live, and he sent me a picture of an Osset Pale Ale, which I just dropped a beer cap on the floor, which is what that noise was.
It made a good sound.
It was good, wasn't it? Which wouldn't be alarming news to most people. However, you know how I'm a little bit touch and go with very hoppy things?
Yes.
My dad is the extreme version of that. And basically, if it doesn't come in looking like treacle, he's not interested. And so for him to send me that picture, I was like, "Are you unwell? Are you okay? Do you need help?" He was like, "This will shock you, but I'm quite enjoying this." It was an Osset, and it was something from Osset, which, for those that don't know, I think are owned or operated by Innocent Gun.
Are they?
Yeah, or they certainly sell. Innocent Gun certainly sell Osset on their website.
Aren't Osset and Salt connected in some way?
No. Hold on. Or am I getting my... No. You're thinking of... They've got really similar branding. I think Osset is... Oh, I'm having a... Hold on a minute. I'm having a right...
I feel like John from Lords talks about a guy called Jamie from Osset quite a lot, and I feel like there's a connection to Salt somewhere.
No, that is the same guy that runs Salt. But hold on a moment.
CJ, I've given you a spanner, mate. David said, just whilst you're doing this, also brought beer from Sierra Nevada, bought five new to me and 7 more hop to them. I'll tell you what, for how much was that? £2.80 for that Summerfest beer?
£2.80.
How can you, even if there's delivery on top of that, how can you moan at that? Crummy says, yeah, of course he did. Il Corvo, evening all. Hello, Il Corvo. Hope you're well, mate. CJ Art says, give us a spanner mush. Already sorted, mate. Don't you worry about that. David says, hi, Il Corvo. And David's put a link there to the Sierra Nevada shop.
I apologise.
Matt says, Osset own a big share in Salt Beer Factory. Yeah.
Yeah.
I knew there was a connection between Osset and Salt.
Here we go. I'm going to correct myself now. The problem is the branding's really similar. and the name is really similar. So Osset, correct, are in the same business as salt, basically. There's a big link there. The one I was thinking of that are sold also by Innocent Gun, Ossian.
That is a bit similar, isn't it?
It's Ossian, and the branding is also not that far off.
No, it's not.
So that's why I was getting confused. Yes,
Well,
Osset is.
You had a beer last week, Tom. Was it a West? Was it called a West beer or something? West.
Yeah. So the one that I had on the stream last week was West's St Mungo's Lager.
That's it. And I remember seeing the red square, and I was like, "Oh, that's an Osset beer."
No, it was not.
It was not an Osset beer.
So you're right. Sorry, yes, but both Osset and Ossian are pretty decent as far as trad beer goes. So there you go.
So where are Osset? I presume they're Scottish. If Innocent Gun are involved.
Let's find out, shall we? Ossian.
See, you come here for a chill out, and you leave with knowledge, guys. It's kind of always what I wanted to do with the channel. Definitely not.
Okay. Do you want to be confused? If you Google Ossian Brewery,
yes,
the first result that comes up is Invermond Brewery, which I've inevitably said wrong. But Inveral, basically Inver Almond, but that's not how it's going to be said. It'll be Invermond or something like that. Is the first result. But on the right-hand side, where you get the Google business details, you get Innocent Gun. And then the second entry, make it even more interesting, is on the Innocent Gun site. It's the Invermond Ossian beer and golden ale cases. So all of those, I'm very confused.
Nothing like keeping your businesses separate.
No, I'm just very confused. So there's more than. Oh, hold on a minute. No. Right, I'm an idiot as usual.
Every time you say no, I shut my fridge because I don't want the air to get out.
Don't worry, I'm a fool. Invermond is the brewery, but they do Ossian is the most popular beer, and it comes in a few different guises, which is why I thought it was the brewery.
Right.
There we go. So, but Innocent Gun, I think, own it, but the brewery is Invermond.
There we go.
Which is Scottish.
Scottish.
There you go.
Barry's in. The man with the best haircuts in the world. Well, saying that, the only evidence we've seen is John's, and to be honest,
Barry, you need to push your what's the right word? Your
barbershop.
No, your public perception. We need some more. You need to further your examples.
Yes,
because we just had a man who joined, whose hair is cut by yourself, but he joined and his phone was down here. He was looking down on it. When he first joined, I wondered why someone had put a baked potato in the sky. To be honest, I was a bit confused. But then it turned out it was John. But well, yeah.
Where are we going to go? Let's get this Kirkstall thing out. I quite like Kirkstall, so this mango IPA is going to be annoying, but it's probably going to be quite nice. Henry says, Il Corvo, evening, matey. Henry also says, hello, Barry Edmonton. David says, had a few Inder Almond beers in spoons.
There you go.
So they would have made it all the way down south then, I guess.
Innocent Gun are pretty prevalent in the old spoons as well, I think.
Oh, are they? I don't go in a lot of spoons very often.
They certainly are in Scotland.
Right.
They're in every spoons in Scotland. I likewise, I don't go in many spoons, so I can't say for sure. But I did go in one last week, oddly. I basically went in every single pub in wherever that place was that I went last weekend. Bicester, yeah. Went in every pub in Bicester, and one of them was a spoons. And I think they did have it in there. But it's not what I had.
I think spoons are one of those, like, we all know spoons ethics and how they pay and and all the rest of it. But I think in terms of being a drinker in spoons, you're just looking at it very, very one-dimensionally. So if you've got shares in a brewery so I'm glad John isn't on the stream. But just looking at it one dimensionally, I would be more inclined to go to a Spoons that's sort of say 50 miles away from my house because they're very regional. So if you go to Spoons in
True.
Beccles, where I was, they will have London Pride and they will have Doom Bar, but alongside that they'll have like Green Jack, who are like lower stuff down the road.
It's true.
It's probably quite a cheap way of, like I
Yeah,
say,
no, you're right. They do. They get Magpie Brewery in house quite a lot.
yeah.
They're not a big. They're big in Nottingham, but they're not big nationally.
God, it's got lactose in it, isn't it?
One smell and he was offended.
No, it hasn't. It hasn't. Okay.
Interesting. I've had a few beers recently that have had it in and I've not picked up on it, which is odd.
I think when I get like a mango IPA, I know it's going to have that kind of like fruit juicy concentrate thing in it, and I'm just it's almost like I'm looking for it. If you know what I mean, it's almost like I go, oh, no. So Barry's laughing, presumably at John's 30 strands of hair that he's got. He says, "Hi, Henry." Henry's thumbs up. Henry also says, "Don't forget to pinch that like and share on the stream on the way." If you would, I wouldn't certainly complain. And if by some weird thing that you don't know the guy that's sitting that way,
other way, I'm over here. I'm over here.
That way, contorting my arm. That's Tom. He's from the Crummy Beard, or he is the Crummy Beard. Go and have a look. He's a very nice guy. Knows his way around biscuits, whiskey, and beer. So if you're a self-indulgent person like myself, you'll quite like his channel.
If you're a menace, then it might be worth a go.
Barry says, "Hang on, I'll change my profile picture to a cut I've just done." Barry, you can't say that because it's still your dog.
You could just send it one of us on Instagram or
I'll whack it in there for me, mate. And David says, in terms of referencing to Wetherspoons, for me, it's the only local choice for real ale in town. Mate, I totally understand it.
And I think the same for a lot. So what I learned when I was out in Bicester last week was, the first stop was Bicester Heritage, which I talked a little bit about on the stream last week, which has a lot of, it's got a big, reasonable sized presence in the car world. But there's a brewery there that did explicitly car themed beer. Went there first, and in terms of like an environment to enjoy beer, it was about the best. Right? It was fantastic. Like big old RAF base, but everyone was ready. There's not many people there. Really friendly, loads of interesting things to just have a nosy around that, even though none of it was open. Really, it was just enjoyable. And the beer was, I'm not going to say it was flat average because it was better than that, but it wasn't maybe exciting, if that makes sense. When you get those you get those trad producers where you can't really say anything bad about it, but it just didn't necessarily tickle you.
Yeah, it's straight down the middle, isn't it?
That kind of beer. Really can't say anything bad about it. But anyway, so then we went into Bicester itself, and the first pub we went to was meant to be the best. And I walked in, and I mean, they had numerous cans of Polly's behind the bar. Like you knew that this place, the people who owned it knew what they were doing, right?
Yeah.
But unfortunately, for whatever reason, all they had on tap that I could really be interested in drinking at the time was a plum porter, which normally that starts off well for me. Normally,
don't say St. Peter's.
No, Tiny Rebel.
Ugh.
And look, I've never been a big fan of Tiny Rebel, and all I can say is it was fine. But if they threw that out there thinking they could really, touch Titanic or anyone else with that, no, not even near. Nowhere, not in the same stratosphere. Like it was okay. It was a bit acidic. It was almost like a natural sour. But and the woman behind the bar, I had a great conversation with her about what she got. Just when you start talking to someone within 3 words, you automatically you both know what you mean.
Yeah,
like it was just one of those. Like it was like, okay, like you never know when you walk into a pub. But like, is this person been employed because they need a Saturday job? Because she wasn't that old, or is this person being employed because they know what they're talking about? With 3 words, I was like, she knows what she's talking about immediately. Like it was just one of those. I don't know what it is, just a vibe you get off people. But it was, yeah. But then, unfortunately, they just didn't have much to offer, which probably wasn't her decision. But yeah, it's annoying. But
I know what you mean. I mean, Norwich, I live, my closest city is Norwich. It's about 25 minutes away, and there's loads of pubs and micro pubs and bars there. Like, it's a really, really good East Anglia or Norfolk in general is like brew pub central, really. I've never known this amount of brew pubs near. So you go in a lot of places where like it's sort of you want to be, you know, like you'll make a special trip to go there. There's nothing worse than going to the bar and going, oh, is that the new one brewed with that the Cascade and Mosaic hops, or you know that they're shouting about on Instagram? And they go,
what?
And you're like, just give me the pint and I'll bugger off and look at the Instagram post. Do you know what I mean? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. And you can't look bars that have got, they need to employ a certain amount of people just to keep service going.
Yeah.
I get it. Like, you can't, not everyone who works in the place can necessarily be as invested as you want them to be. Right.
I totally understand. It's just a vibe killer. And
but it does, yeah, it does have a hindrance. So it's nice when you get to that point and you get someone who immediately you know.
I'm just going to dispose kindly of this Kirkstall Mango IPA.
Is it that bad? Is it really that bad?
It's Lidl Craft Beer Festival standard. I'm going to, of the past.
Of the past. Okay, fair enough. I'll address comments then in the interim. Matt Hall says, Spoon's breakfasts are good value. I don't disagree. They're not necessarily good quality, but they are good value. However, the thing that's always slightly put me off Spoon's breakfast is not the breakfast itself, but it's watching fairly elderly gentlemen roll in and tear back 3 pints before 7:30. And that itself is a bit of a vibe killer, if I'm honest. It's not what I want with my breakfast. Barry says, bugger it, I ain't got a clue what I'm doing. Take my word for it. Okay, he's trying to change his profile picture, but he can't do it. Just send us a picture somewhere, Barry. Do it. Henry says, big check. Don't forget to check out me, apparently. He's put my link in. Thank you very much, Barry. Henry, sorry. Much appreciated. Steve, what? Dictionary Corner's in the corner, just giving me sass and making me say the wrong words.
I'll tell you what, Dictionary Corner was full of sass last week when I mistakenly called her the wrong name.
Yeah, that was bad. Everyone just hid.
But I was pretty wrecked. I didn't realise. I came in the following morning. So the way this thing works, right? I've got a shelving unit thing here that you're sitting on right now, and then I just leave all my beers and all my bottles and empties on the desk because I'm normally too pissed to walk out of the room and take them with me. And then the following morning I come in and I walked in the following morning. I was like, oh, 8.9% stout from Pressure Drop. Interesting. Alongside those 5.1% Hofbrau 4 bottles and the Black Isle cans.
It happens.
So I must apologise.
There's a bit of an oddity, though. I always find when doing these streams, it either goes one of 2 ways. I either get up and I look down and go, I can't have drank that many. That's ridiculous. Or I go through what I'm going through right now and going, I've not drank 3 bottles / cans yet. By this time, if I'd just gone to the pub, we would have been much further on and felt not as inebriated. So I don't know what's going on. Not even been strong. So what's going on?
It's a funny old thing.
But for comment tracking, sir, we need to address David Wilson at 0703.
0703. We can zoom up there, can't we?
There you go.
Okay. So David Wilson says round trip to any other towns in £6 a week. That's almost 3 pints and spoons. It's true though, isn't it? It is true. And if there's something traveling for, it might be worth it. But if there's not, and it might not be for David, I can understand Wetherspoons. I really can. Like I say, looking at it from a very one-dimensional standpoint. Matt Hall says we tend to head to Spoons for breakfast when we do weekends away, as we know what you get is good value and generally cheaper than the hotels.
That's fair.
I know why you go there, Matt, because you can get a beer with breakfast. I found you out, mate.
Yeah, I just talked about this when you left. Matt was saying they were very good value for money. I said they are. They're not necessarily good breakfast, but they're good value. Given that,
if you're in the middle of the town, gonna get on the beers. You don't necessarily want to eat, an Ivy breakfast costing 15 quid, do you?
No, fair. I was to say, but the thing that really puts me off was the fact that every time I've gone into one for breakfast, there's a raft of elderly gentlemen getting absolutely hammered before 7:30 a.m. and it's a bit of a vibe killer.
I think that's the negative side that's one of the big negative sides of Wetherspoons. It does, because it's cheap and they do sell beer from an ungodly hour. You do end up.
Actually, we were talking about this the other day. I mean, Dictionary Corner, we were driving back from somewhere. We were talking about this, saying there's loads of great reasons why you might want to go for a pint in Wetherspoons at 7 a.m. Right? If you work night shifts, right?
Yeah.
You've just finished at 6 or 7 a.m. and it's about to be your weekend.
Wind down.
All right, a little bit of wind down time. You don't, if you work with night shifts all the time, you never get to go for a pint in normal time. That'd be a great, facilitator for that sort of thing. There's lots of, but yeah.
The problem is,
one doing that though. It's always been old retired guys just getting flushed.
Yeah,
true.
I agree with that. That's the problem. I think if it was full of sort of 30, 40, 50 somethings that look like they've just done a nice week at work, you'd understand it. I might be stereotyping, but it's not, is it? It's the kind of the town bench warmers. I don't mean that.
Sorry, I'm not. I wasn't ready for
that. God, sorry if I've offended anybody. David, moving swiftly on, David Wilson says, Matt Hall, me too. If you're in a town with a Tim Hortons, they have some nice breakfast items. You know what?
Ooh.
I watch a guy called the Mac Master. Did anyone watch Mac Master?
Don't think so.
I feel like he might be from your neck of the woods, Tom. But he reviewed Tim Hortons the other day, and he was like, "This makes McDonald's look stupid."
Describe this person to me. I feel like I should know.
I imagine he looks like he works in IT, and by that I mean he wears button-up shirts with short sleeves.
Oh, IT, not cool IT. Okay.
Oh,
yeah.
I'm talking IT. I'm talking like
okay.
I'm a data engineer.
My wife, Roy. Yeah, that one. Yeah.
He's a really cool guy. He's got a really good channel actually. He's got loads of followers and subscribers and stuff, and he's got a big following. But he goes around, and one of the videos, or one of his big videos recently, was Tim Hortons, and he went to Tim Hortons in. I'll tell you what, it's not near you. It's Mansfield.
No, Mansfield is near me.
Oh, okay. He went to Tim Hortons in Mansfield, and they do a maple latte. And it's kind of like a bit of a bougie.
Got one. There's a shopping outlet up there. I think it's just opened in.
Yeah, it's like one of these sort. It looked like one of these sort of out or on the edge of town industrial park sort of jobbies.
Yes, I was up there the other week, but I don't think it opened yet.
Yeah, I think it's brand new. I think from what he was saying in the video, it's brand new. But they do a maple latte, and I think you can get like a maple latte and a bacon and egg wrap for like $3.49 or something.
Bargain. It's all right. Literally, Corner's now collaborating with me where it is. It's not where I thought it was.
But yeah, really, really interesting. It's basically a Canadian fast food chain, but they do like big loaded sandwiches and stuff. It's kind of a more bougie McDonald's.
Yeah, I get the vibe. I've got a friend. Oh, in fact, friend of the channel, Sam, who people have seen a few times now in my house.
Was he on here recently? He was, wasn't he?
He was on here recently.
Yeah.
He spent some time in Canada. And also, he's big. As a result, has big love for the Tim Hortons.
I think it's a big thing in Canada. I do think it's a big thing.
It is a big thing.
But yeah, there we go.
Wait for Dictionary Corner to tell me where this one is, so we can go.
Paul, well, mate, even
Mansfield.
You couple of sex pests. Oi, oi, apples and pears on the nut. Harry Kane, score a goal. And a ball. Timo says, Tiny Rebel do some good beers. They do. I went to their stand at Brew London because their marketing team were awesome. Just lovely, lovely people. And they gave me a couple of beers that were like kind of like off the beaten track, sort of not in the supermarket or not the ones that you see all over Instagram. And they were excellent. They need to stop messing about making these stupid ones and stick to the proper stuff. I agree, but I think it's a marketing thing. If there was a video that was released recently about Fruzy, the smooth, or say recently, probably a couple of months ago now, the smoothie IPA, the Fruzy fruit smoothie IPA. The guy, like one of the marketing guys said, like, this is deliberately aimed at people that wouldn't ordinarily drink beer, which is quite a worrying thing when you buy beer from a brewery.
Yeah.
Because you kind of think it's targeted in its craft.
That's just reminded me what the conversation I had with the woman behind the bar in that pub last weekend that made me go, immediately, you know what you're talking about. Because I walked in, saw the only thing I was really interested in was the Plum Porter, but it was by Tiny Rebel. Immediately opened up the conversation that, to be honest, I normally think Tiny Rebel are pretty... She kind of came back with, well, yeah, but that Club Tropicana was pretty good. I said, that was the weirdest beer. So, because I had it in a can, it was delicious. And before I could finish the sentence, she said, and on tap, it was shit. I said, yes, it was.
And then
like, you know exactly what you're
heard
talking
was Bruno Mars going, I think I want to marry you. No, but I know what you mean, yeah.
The corner. The Muller corner is fierce now. That's what we're going on to next. I've not had this before.
Oh, I bet it's good. They do that in Waitrose. I should have bought it.
I bought it a very long time ago. This has been maturing nicely for about 6 months, I reckon. But
I really want to get into these Barefaced Brewing beers. So Barefaced Brewing are a tiny little brewery down in Blandford in Dorset, I think. Probably not far from you, David Wilson, if you're still watching.
Dorset.
It's a Barefaced.
It's a Barefaced lie.
Really cool, kind of like sort of. I know it's not Tartar. It's kind of like Tartarus-esque sort of branding with the funky background and like the white or black.
Oh, it is a bit. Yeah.
Shall I do it? I'm going to do it. I've got a clean glass.
He's
I'm
going
going
to
to get
do
the
it.
New England back open.
So this is, before you're opening that one, this is Fuller's Black Cab Stout, 4.5%, brewed beside the Thames, which I'll be honest, I don't think is a selling point. I'm a bit concerned already.
Probably quite soft in the mouth though, that water, Tom.
Tastes like dead bodies and syphilis. It says, named in honor of the icon of the capital, this aromatic dark beer will transport you to the days of where porters and stouts were Londoners' drinks of choice. I'll be honest, I would quite like to go back to a time where porters and stouts were the drink of choice. That would suit me right well.
Well, a porter. What was it on this? Was it on your channel or was it a YouTube video somewhere? Someone was talking about the origin of porters, and it was literally a porter was a beer style that was it. So the guys on the ships, they wanted a particular beer style, and they made a beer style, and it was called the porter.
As in, like, port and starboard porter?
No, as in, like, a guy that would get off a ship would be called, like, a porter, let's say.
Oh, okay. Right, I'm with you.
And they made a beer for the guys that got off the ships, and that beer was the porter. My Christ.
Entirely possible. Entirely possible. I do like... I reckon porters... I'm hard-pressed to give a favourite style, but porter's up there for me.
What I thought I poured myself was a New England IPA. What I think I've poured myself would normally be known as like a German alt beer.
What you done?
Look at that.
That looks like it was made by the Thames. In the Thames, yeah.
Look at that.
I can't decide whether that looks murky or like chocolate mousse. I
can't even tell
whether
you
it's me.
how dark that
I can't
is.
decide whether I'm really whether I really want it or am appalled by it. And for what it's worth, annoyingly, Fuller's, despite being made by the Thames, it's actually quite nice.
I'm really disappointed.
Why did you think it was something else, or did you open the wrong beer?
No, because it's got New England IPA written on the side of the bottle.
Oh, has it gone off?
Well, it shouldn't have done. It's best before the 30th of December.
That don't look right.
No.
Does it smell right?
It smells really good.
Oh.
It's kind of got like a bubblegummy. soft fruitiness to it. That strawberry, banana.
Belgian yeast.
I don't know. I don't want to look at the bottle because I don't want to look at the bottle, but that don't look right, does it?
No, it doesn't. That
But this would have been brewed. So,
in a barn.
context here, I've got some friends up, Paul and Nikki. Hi, Paul. I know he watches some of the videos. This is his local brewery. So he normally drinks this beer. What's it called? So you've travelled, which is like their pale ale, which is like crystal clear beer.
Okay.
And he's been banging on about Barefaced for a long time. They're down in Blandford Forum in Dorset. And I said, mate, and he's up seeing, well, he's a family friend, so he's up seeing my mum and dad at the moment up in North Norfolk at a campsite. And I said, can you bring up some beers? So I did, and this is the result.
We're just waiting now to see if you end up with another week on the toilet. To be honest,
I was going to say, in form, Tom. Rest in peace, my guts in the morning.
Yeah, this ended really well last time. That was definitely the tiniest sip anyone's ever taken of a beer.
Yeah, it was tentative. That is a very, very bad version of a New England IPA.
I think it's off, mate. There's no way that coloration is intentional.
It can't be, can it?
It can't. There's no... Go on, read the bottle. Let's find out.
Swings and Roundabouts is our core New England IPA, which we've double dry hopped with buckets of Olicana and Citra. Oh, for juicy bubblegum, there you go. I thought I could smell strawberry and banana. Bubblegum and fruit-filled flavours taking centre stage to soft and easy malt profile.
But does it at any point says should look like chocolate mousse?
It's not soft at all. Very thin. No hop character at all.
That's Oxford. That's gone.
I think it's gone.
I think that's gone.
I'm going to send them an Instagram message.
He's going to be furious.
Do you know what you guys have done?
How dare you? It's not that bad. I bought one from bought a beer early on in my YouTube experience, but I didn't film it. I got it I bought a shed load of local beers to review. One of them I chose not to review. It was from the smallest beer in the area, smallest brewery in the area, and I've done a couple of reviews. I think I've done a live actually. Went downstairs and I have one more. Actually, yeah, go on. I fancy that one. It's been knocking around for a few weeks, and it was a fruited beer. And I opened it up, and as the bottle opener hadn't gone beyond halfway before my ceiling was covered in strawberry beer.
Yeah,
I just blew up.
And that could have been talking of that would have been probably that particular beer might have been a bit kept too warm, or it could have been a bit of a misbrew, or too much.
You can't expect people to keep it cold enough for no fermentation to happen. You have to make sure that the amount of yeast and the amount of sugar in there is not going to result in a bomb. Yeah,
really. Yeah, no, I'm with you. I think that's gone. And I'm going to message them on Instagram. But for the meantime, Tom, sorry to do this again. I'm going to wash this glass out.
No worries. I will also visit the toilet once he gets back.
The last comment was Simo's Tiny Rebel Do Some Good Beers comment.
Got it, mate. I've got it. David Wilson says, hi, Paul's Beer Reviews. Henry says, at Paul's Beer Reviews, good evening. How are you, mate? Simo says, all righty, Paul's Beer Reviews. There's a theme going on in these comments. Simo also says, well, chicken was unforgivably burnt to within an inch of its life. Guess we're on takeout pizza instead. Bit jealous, mate, if I'm honest. Enjoy. Henry said, Henry's just laughing. Paul's just saying evening to everyone. Barry says, hey up, Paul. There's very much a back and forth. There's a Paul-centric part of the chat here. Paul says, hello, Barry. I'm doing all right, mate. How about yourself? Henry says, amigo, smash that like, subscribe, and share. Yeah, this is my channel, so hit all the buttons. I can big him up. Do it down there. somewhere here probably. There's gonna be a load of buttons. You can like, dislike, do the comments, report him for violent nudism, whatever you fancy, really. Barry says, at Paul's beer reviews, I had a fall while slightly gassed, and now I'm all stitched up, knee and face. Oh, Barry, it's not good, mate. It's not good. Are you okay? Are you okay? Paul Goggin is in, which is a difficult word. It's a collective of words to say there, but I hope you're well, Paul. What was that, Dictionary Corner? Mrs. Goggins. No, it's Paul Goggin, not Goggins. If it was Goggins, then in theory there would be a Mrs. Goggins and would be in Postman Pat, but that's not his name, so it's all right. Barry says, other than that, he's peachy, which is nice to hear. Okay. Indeed. That's all right. I put a new bit of new poster up on my wall, and it's taken Dictionary Corner 5 days to spot the change. So it's good going. Paul says, Barry, you tit. Hope you're recovering. Did you learn anything from the experience, though? That's what's important. He says, yes, I did. Watch where I step next time. Got to watch his feet. Paul saying, hi, Henry. Paul, Simo. Matt says, our Frankie and Benny's shut a while ago. Tim Hortons are taking the building over, so should be able to try them soon. Is that the Derby one that's been hotly rumoured? Dictionary Corner. Because I think Matt Hall is Derby. Matt, I've got my ticket for the day session of the Saturday of Derby Beer Con. It's booked. I'm going.
Ask him if it's the one on Wyvern.
Matt, Dictionary Corner wants to know, is the Tim Hortons you're talking about the one on the Wyvern? In Derby. I talk like that. Derby. We're at Paul's comment at 0712.
Oh Jesus! I've gone full John at Lord's Brewery with this. I'm way back there.
That's not that many. Don't
worry. Paul says, "Aha! There you go. You're a better man for the experience." What was that referring to?
That's referring to Barry, who fell over and hurt his face and something else.
Oh, Barry.
He had a fall, but he was a little bit inebriated at the time, I think.
No sympathy. Sorry, Barry. Paul says, Mr. Goggin, hello, sir. Hello, Paul. How you doing, mate? Paul Goggin, that is. I've said hello to you, Paul. You're not getting two hellos, mate. Matt Hall says, hello, Paul. Paul's beer review says, I can confirm Tim Hortons breakfast and coffee is the nuts. Yeah, I've heard this. Well, I say I've heard this. I watched it, Macmaster on YouTube. David Wilson's put the link to Tim Hortons in the chat. Henry says, amigo, smash that like button and subscribe. If you would, that would be great. I'm on my way to 500, so I'm really looking to get over the 500 hurdle. For no other reason than just getting over the 500 hurdle.
Do it.
David Wilson says, I always go there in the one in Brum when I'm there. Hold on. Yeah, I'll need to go to a Tim Hortons. I do need to go there. Apparently it's really good. I just want to go for the maple latte. Neil Long says, shift over. Budvar cracked. Happy long weekend, gentlemen.
Cheers,
Neil Long, happy long weekend to you, sir. I'm going to get into this. It's from Magic Rock that we can drink now without worrying about our morals being crushed. This is their New England IPA called Icky Sticky Pop.
Sticky Pop.
Which is quite good. I'll let it breathe for a sec. Henry says, hello, amigo. Neil. Paul Goggins says, I'm after a few strong bottle of independent stouts and some out of date Weizen.
It's a good collection there.
You're going to be living life later, mate. David says, Tom, that is a very nice stout. I hope you enjoy.
I know David's a big fan of the Fuller's range, but actually, you know what? For some reason, I didn't have much hope. It is very nice.
Yeah, I can imagine that's really good.
It's not mind blowing, but it's solid. Really, I've got no complaints. Good beer.
In a world of sweet stouts and porters and pastry and
that's never been. Thing is, though, my love for stouts and porters predates the. Let's fill it with here, there, and everywhere. Because I know you really like your adjuncts in your dark beers, but actually, I'm the other way around. I prefer adjuncts in lighter beers and leave dark beers to the simplicity.
I mean, but I like straight up beers. I do like straight up beers. But yeah, I'm with you. I'd much rather straight up beer than sweet beer. It's just kind of what we've been accustomed to recently in the UK. because every bit's been
True.
horribly sweet.
There's a lot of sugar being flown around right now.
Oh, terribly so. David says hi, Neil Long. Neil says hi, Henry, and David Wilson.
I'm off to the little boys' room again while you're rattling through comments.
Wasn't a porter named after the people that move things around London? Maybe. Yes, it could well be. I might have got my wires crossed there. The porters used to move crates, etc., around and needed to keep a beer to keep them going. Yeah, that was it. It was like it was one of those things that you like hear on like Discovery Channel or National Geographic. One of those weird videos. Sorry, Henry says good to see you, Neil Long. Neil Long says Paul's beer reviews evening, mate. If you want to see a good, Instagram, go to Funketeer79. That's Neil Long's Instagram. He's just out drinking every single weekend. Matt said the porter beer did the trick. Milkova said, and stout porter was just a stronger ABV porters. Then the porter got dropped. Boom, there you go. Henry says, smash that like, subscribe, share. Amazing community, respect. Thank you, Henry. I appreciate that, mate, for your ongoing support. David Wilson says, looks like puddle water. Yeah, I'm going to message them. I don't think that's right, and I think they need to know about it. I did have another one of their beers, like a lower ABV pale Wednesday, and it was really, really good. So I was really looking forward to that. I specifically picked that out of the bunch, but we'll give them a chance. We're only a small brewery. Paul Goggin, this could turn into Duval night in a good way, mate. I do have a Duval. I've got a Duval Citra, triple hopped Citra. I'm really interested in, but yeah, need to be in the mood, didn't you? It's a kind of winter beer. Paul's beer reviews says Neil Long, hello, buddy. Mal says round 2 of Mark's food poisoning. Yeah, I can't be doing another week on the pan. It's been honestly, my bum must like a strawberry with all the wiping that's gone on. Abrasion. Henry says, does look a strange colour. It does, yeah, it really does. It really, really does. And Paul Goggins says it looks poor. Yeah, it does. Bramall, yeah. See, these are the people you need in the chat, okay? Bramall says, oxidized for sure, probably cap issue. That's known as Pebble Dash beer, as in how it exists, how it exits. Evening, by the way. Bramall, you absolute legend. Hello, mate. I thought, honestly, I'm not even joking. I was in Beccles in Suffolk earlier, and someone pulled out in a T5 VW transporter, and it looked like you. I was like, was that Bramall? Seriously, actually happened. David says, hi, Bramall. Henry says, hi, brother. Henry says, be right back. Thing is, Henry, the best thing is when you say be right back, I've not even caught up with the comments. Neil Long says, Henry 420, Merba, as they say in Maltese. There you go. He had a good time in Malta, did Neil Long. I saw his Instagram. Bramall says, David Wilson, Henry, good evening. Henry says, cheers, mate. Neil Long. Good evening, by the way, Bramall. Rasco's in. Hello, mate. How you doing, Rasco? Last seen by myself at GBBF, looking a little bit worse for wear, bless him. Henry says, smash that like and subscribe. Thank you, Henry, as always, mate. Hey, Rasco. Everyone's saying hi, Rasco. Rasco says, hey, big up. Be right back. Cheers all. So Henry's been and gone by the time I've actually caught up with these comments, because I'm just absolutely terrible. Neil Long says, Henry 420, not that I'm Maltese like. Well, you practically are. You've drunk more different Maltese beers than a lot of the Maltese have, Neil, because I saw your Instagram when you were on holiday. And that was Madeira, wasn't it, actually? Got my wrong M's, my wrong islands beginning with M mixed up. Neil Long says, David Wilson, how things are good, sir? Hold on, Rasco. I'm in Ansbach and Hobsday Bar, the Pigeon, which happens to be closing this weekend. Why are they closing it? I feel like they're on the up, Ansbach and Hobday. Or maybe they've seen something they didn't like. I don't know.
I think you did you address the comment 2 back from Matt?
2 back from Matt.
Matt Hall.
From 2 comment, what, that one?
No, that's Henry. 2 back from where you were. 0727. Two down from where you are now. Unless your order is different to mine.
No, it didn't. Sorry.
It came up on screen, but then you didn't talk about it.
Oh, sorry, I was probably on a flow.
I was a Frankie and Benny's in Burton that changed for a Tim Hortons. Tim Hortons in Burton.
I feel like Frankie and Benny's was
a good friend of her lives in Burton, so now she's going to be going there a lot. He also says, we'll see you at Derby BeerCon then, Tom. You will do. Unfortunately, I only know you as Bert from Sesame Street, so you're going to have to introduce yourself. Um,
Oh,
but I will be there.
Maybe it looks like
that is another terrible New England IPA.
See, Mark, slowly starting to learn why I shy away from lighter beers because most of them do this to me. They're mostly terrible.
That is minging. I'm now going to have to go and wash this exact glass I've just
Gonna wash it
washed.
again. That's fine. While you go and wash that, so I've got a question for chat, so you can
Right, okay.
you can go do what you need to
That
do.
is absolute poo.
Get
I've done that.
something European or darker because it's all that's worth drinking. That's what
Yeah,
I've
I'm gonna have
decided.
to do
That's it. Chat, right? Got a decision to make. We're going to have a relatively healthy pasta tea, but decided it's bank holiday weekend. Need to be fat, basically. We can't decide. Our only good takeaway options are pizza or curry
or maybe a job.
or a very good Greek kebab. These are the options that we've got. Which of the three do I go for? I'm going to take a poll. Whichever gets the most votes takes it.
What are you doing, Tom?
Which is, I'm putting my dinner choices down to chat. We were going to have a relatively healthy pasta dish, but decided it's bank holiday weekend and that's no longer a viable option. And I'm a child, and I've had.
Did somebody take your seat?
Yeah, basically, is exactly what happened. So, chat now needs to decide: am I having pizza, curry, or a Greek kebab?
Oh,
It's not a Greek kebab, because people are getting excited thinking so.
one vote in for the Greek kebab. Oh.
Okay, let's clarify the Greek kebab. It's from a chip shop, but it's owned by a Greek man. So it's like a halfway house between a dirty doner and a really good Greek kebab. Like it's no, it is good though. We can't deny it. It is proper, but maybe
Right.
it's not authentically Greek kebab.
I need a
So-
beer.
But
Tell you
also, the pizza is owned by genuine Italians and comes with is also fantastic, and the curry is Nepalese, which is a little bit off cut, but is actually better than the regular curry house. So
I do love a Nepalese curry.
yeah, so you see my problem. I'm torn here. All three of them come from very good establishments, which is why they're the only three options I've given you. But don't have a good Chinese, so it's not an option.
All I can think when I hear Italian is that Instagram, like diddle-a-dun, diddle-dun, diddle-dun, diddle-a-dun, diddle-dun, diddle-dun.
You know, is it?
Right,
Is it
before I
not
offend all
the-
the any Italian chat.
Do you not hear the Ferrari strategy team making terrible decisions?
Is it like that?
Just put some hard ties on it.
Make it go backwards. Honestly,
Not your
it
preference.
is. Yeah. Put it in reverse, be fine.
I'm going to a safe house now. Wild Beer Co. I like Wild Beer Co. And
I think
this
you've
is
had a
their-
really bad day if Wild Beer Co's your safe house. Don't get me
Really?
wrong.
I really like Wild Beer
I
Co.
don't dislike them at all. But if I was going for a beer that I really needed to have a good time, like needed to be good after disappointment, it's not what I'd go for. I think there's still the chance of disappointment with Wild Beer Co.
Come
It's less
on.
likely.
It's a session IPA. How bad is it going to be? I had a really good.
I told him not to go for pale again, and he's like, "Oh, this is going to be a write-off. This is going to be a write-off."
We're not having pizza, that's all I can say to you. Probably the chat.
It's clear. It's really clear. It's really pale. It almost looks like it's slightly greener than a light lager, but it really does look light. Really earthy hoppiness coming through on the aroma.
Getting a
Bit
full
of passion
review.
fruit.
We're getting a full review.
Don't know about this one.
I know it. I told him.
I watched this glass again. The Lord's Brewing Company logo is going to come off of it.
This is a ploy by Lord's Brewing Company that anything that's not Lord's goes into that glass tastes awful. It's a clever trick they've pulled.
No, I'm happy with that. Yeah. It's quite viney. It's quite earthy and viney. I said it was earthy, but it's quite viney. But you do get a lovely... It's a lot softer in the mouth than it looks, because it looks really clear, but it's actually quite soft. and there's a lovely sort of hint of subtle pineapple running all the way through, which I'm really happy about.
Is it actually all right, or do you need to bin that one as well?
No, I would happily.
Okay, good.
It tastes like it's sub 4%.
I'm really sorry. I'm not. We will get to
4.7.
each. We will get to each individual comment, but Whip 8's recommendation of ordering all three.
That's incredible. Whip 8, I feel like we might be friends.
Yeah, I was like, that's the sort of that's the vibe I need in my life. Just buy all of them.
So where did you get down to, mate?
No, you were. I was the one that went away. We are where you are. I think.
Oh, there we go.
You did. No, you did this one and the next one.
Okay.
There you go.
David says, Neil Long, how are you? Rasco says, I can't hang on for long. Much respect to all. Rasco, thanks for coming in, mate. What a lovely guy that man is. Has a random array of hats as well. We kind of have this straw hat thing, kind of Wurzel Gummidge-esque. GUVF. It's brilliant.
What a backhanded compliment that was.
It's gone all frayed at the end. Neil Long says, Mark, a bit of Magic Rock on Sunday, going on a little beer adventure in Huddersfield, staying overnight. I don't doubt you're doing that, Neil Long. You are exactly the sort of person that would be doing that. David says, Rasco, anything new worth trying? Do you like Anne's Batch and Hopstay beers? They are good. They are really good. I feel like they're not really under the radar. I still think they're under the radar. I really do. I'm
gonna give the chat until 7:45 my time, because I know the chat's delayed by about a minute.
Yeah,
it gives them about 2.5 minutes to get their answers in by the time they hear this. So
get it in. What is it? Pizza cooked by Italians, kebabs cooked by Greek people.
Yeah, or curry by Nepalese.
I just can't look past that curry. Rasco says the Pigeon Pale. Is that actually a beer, or is that one of those like sort of beers that any London brewer would come up with? Dave Wilson says, cheers, Rasco. Easy name to recall. Absolutely, Rasco's winking. The Stout Porter. There you go. Oh, Bremel, the Track Beer Festival for me tomorrow. Looking forward to it, mate.
Ooh.
They're one of my favourite. They're honestly one of my favourite UK breweries. I haven't been to the new tap room, which looks very impressive. Oh, mate.
A Track Manchester as well.
Sorry?
A Track Manchester.
They are, yeah. What a brewery they are. I still think they're underrated. I really do. When you look at the likes of, Cloudwater for me had a terrible 2021. And that's when Track really went like that. And it's almost like there's like that glass ceiling of those breweries that really are up there. Just for me, just in my opinion. Matt Hall says gyros. Oh, if you can get gyros.
It's not proper. It's not proper gyros, but it's close. It's as good.
We're paid with the all three. I know we're paid.
Yeah, that's the sort of vibe I need in my life. All three.
Yeah,
do it.
Absolutely. Paul Goggins says kebabs. Bramwell says curry with all the trimmings. That's what I had tonight.
Ooh.
CJ says lamb shish.
Fair.
And then 2 comments later, David, I'll come back to you. He says actually Nepalese curry.
Actually, yeah. He got turned.
David Wilson says curry. Dave Wilson, I hope you're still here, mate. He says that's all for me now. Bye all. Enjoy the chat. Thank you, David. Thanks for coming in, mate. One of the loveliest gentlemen on YouTube. Paul Hawkins says kebab is a romantic meal shared. If you're in Scarborough on a Friday night. Bramwell says later, David Wilson. Tom says doner kebab versus shawarma. What's the verdict, boys?
Ooh. Different place, different time, right? They're not necessarily interchangeable. If you're going purely for a foodie experience, then it's a shawarma.
Yeah. Is that one in the big thick flatbread that you fold?
I think the shawarma style is specifically the way it's cooked. Which I think so. I think it's the big, really thick skewer job.
Oh, okay. So it's not the one that they hang off the side of the old hot oven on a skewer. They hang it off the side and they pull it out. And
I'll be honest, my knowledge on the matter is not that good. So
no, honestly, I'm
not going to pretend. I thought it was the the oversized kebab jobby, but there might be different ways. I'm not sure. But all I know is what is for certain is that the Donna is reserved for a special special type of intoxication. Is what the Donna kebab is for.
Yeah, if you're 5 times the limit over the drink drive threshold, then yeah,
if you're speaking like Marcus right now, a Donna is what you should get.
kind of true. Haven't had dinner yet as well. Interesting proposition. This. Neil Long says, Mark, that was my, I've got my islands beginning with M mixed up, as you do. But I do have, but I also have drank more Maltese craft beer than the Maltese have also. The Pint Craft Beer Festival in Valletta, Malta, is on this weekend. Wish I was there right now.
Nice.
Can you even imagine how good that would be? In that like beautiful walled rustic sort of city. Can you even imagine how good that would be?
That would be good. That would be good. Right, it is 7:45 my time now, not chat time. So we've got a literary corner. Have we got a decision?
I think it's curry.
We're having Nepalese curry. There you go.
Yes, I bet it's really good.
It is banging. It is banging.
I remember I had this Nepalese curry years ago in Maidstone. And so for those who don't know, Maidstone's got a big Nepalese community because of the barracks. And there was a Nepalese takeaway place. And I had like a cashew, it was like a Nepalese cashew curry. It was one of the best things I've ever eaten in my life.
It does sound good.
Still living off that joy. And that was about 2009. Paul
right, I'm just going to drop out for a second so I can order curry and then I'll be back.
Yeah, do it. Paul Goggins says, my favourite is using a toasted sandwich machine with a wrap. Game changer for low carbs. Paul, if you could see me side on, I don't really do low carbs. I don't really do high carbs. Disco says, curried kebab meat pizza it is then. Best of all worlds. MCB says, come on guys, what I'm ordering. Yeah, she's obviously chomping at the bit. Henry says, Indian. Jamie C, hello mate. He says, afternoon gents, hope you're good mate. I'm really good. How are you over there in New York? Henry says, hello Jamie C. Jamie says, all right Henry lad. Rasco or Disco rather says, all three is good because then leftovers. Oh mate, imagine like waking up hungover tomorrow morning. Oh, I said tomorrow morning, probably wake up at 10. This is my usual Saturday anyway. Wake up at 10, watch rubbish on YouTube, wake up at lunchtime, and then you're in the day. And then start hitting up all the leftovers. James Snell has hit it on the head for me. Greek gyros with tzatziki. Yeah, I'm with you, mate. Every single day of the week. Henry says, Jamie C, how you doing, bud? Jamie says, Henry, I'm good, mate. Henry says, oh, fair play. I thought he was in the UK. No, he's out in New York, mate. He's not an Englishman in New York. He's a Welshman in New York or a Scotsman. Oh no, sorry, Jamie. Correct me, please. Disco said I wouldn't have laid any money on it being.
He's Welsh.
He's Welsh. There you go. He's Welsh. Disco says I wouldn't have laid any money on it being a Nepalese curry if I was a Tibetan man. Someone has seen. Oh, what's his name? Gary Delaney. What a man. If you haven't seen Gary Delaney's one-liners, go and have a look. He's hilarious. Jamie C says, US East Coast. Paul Goggins says, all right, Jamie C. Henry says, Jamie C, cool, man. Not sure why I thought he was in the UK. Yeah, I can see why the mistake would generally be made. Jamie C says, Paul Goggins, can't see that I can't see that anywhere. Matt Hall says, hey, Jamie. There we go. Really enjoying this wild beer session IPA. It's, I thought it was sub 4%, but it's actually 4.7. This is actually in Waitrose right now. I think it's about £2 a can. Really light, really light. But I'll tell you what, can you see like that micro? It looks hazy, but it's not. That's all some tiny little micro sediment floating around in there. Really small sediment. Bit of carbonation. I find it really earthy and viney, but that passion fruit thing just sort of cools down all those kind of aggressive flavors because I find earthiness and vininess in beer is quite aggressive, whereas passion fruit is obviously lovely and soft. And I think the passion fruit keeps it soft. It's a lot softer in the mouth also than it looks. I mean, it looks like it should be sort of super light, but it's not. But no, really nice beer this. Henry, English/Welsh, yeah, accent. That's why. don't annihilate me. Stuntman Steve says wrong button. Paul's sorry, Paul. Paul Gigging. Goggin. Disco says it's quite difficult to fit Gary Delaney jokes into a general conversation. That one was for one of his cleaner ones, yeah. Have you seen the Gary Delaney one-liners, Crumb?
I'm not familiar, I don't think.
You're going to go down a rabbit hole because he's done loads on Mock the Week, but his best ones are called. Is it called like the Hothead Comedy Club or the?
I need to find out. I'm just going to search his name.
Some of them are just hilarious.
Let's have a quick look.
He is.
I know what you mean. Yes, he is funny.
Henry says, obviously, English people and whatnot live in other countries. Don't, yeah, yeah, we get around, mate. Hello, good evening, mate. Stuntman. James Snell says, now drinking Budmo Lager brewed in support of Ukrainian Aldi. Mate, James, can you follow me on Instagram? Because that's 2 beers now that you've had that. What was that 360 lager that you had? Can you message me on Instagram? If you just go like at the Craft Beer Hub on Instagram, can you private message me? If you've got Instagram, you might not have Instagram, but I imagine you're quite young and you have Instagram. I think, yeah, at the Craft Beer Hub, all one word.
Is the Budmo Lager any good? Because the one in Lidl apparently was not. The Ukraine beer in Lidl was not that great.
It's worth a look, isn't it? Probably buy it in a 4-pack for about £2, if that.
I don't think it was that cheap, but yes.
Hoping. Stuntman says, didn't mean to time you out. I'm sorry. Oh, Stuntman, what are you doing? Who's he timed out?
Someone's been banished.
Who's he? Oh, Paul Goggins been timed out.
Oh, Paul.
Yeah. No. Henry's laughing. Stuntman. Henry says, don't forget to pinch that like and subscribe button or like and share button. Sorry.
Henry's a hero on that.
And isn't he? He's brilliant. He's brilliant. So if you wouldn't mind liking and subscribing, if you're not subscribed, think about it. I'd appreciate it. And that man that way is Tom the Crummy Beard. Like I say, if you weren't here earlier, food, whiskey, and beer. That's kind of his domain, really. And cars. Also cars as well, worth mentioning.
I mean, mainly beer still, but yes, the other things do appear. And also random trips into the countryside. It's a bit of a mixed bag, but it's whatever I'm doing at the time, really.
Exactly. And he's quite an interesting guy. He's got lots of interest in lots of interesting things. So yeah, well worth a look. Stuntman says not drinking today soft drinks. Stuntman, you just timed someone out mistakenly. You sure you're not pissed?
Henry says, he's had too much caffeine.
I'll tell you what he's been doing. He's been drinking that home brew that he's been doing. I know he's been brewing a few beers. So yeah, Henry says blonde moment. I forgot, but I got brown hair and I'm a dude. Work that out, lol.
Tell you what, Henry's hustling. You've got 55 likes on this video, my dude.
Wow, thank you for everyone that's liked. Thank you, because when you like it, not a lot of people know. When you like it, it pushes it out, so we get like new people in. There's been a few new people in tonight, and yeah, I can only thank you for doing that. So yeah, cheers, I really appreciate it. Stuntman says, Mark, it's safe if you unmod me, lol. I wouldn't unmod you, mate. Leave off. You're one of the OGs. Who's messaging me? Oh, someone's messaging me on Instagram. Oh, who is this? Neil Long sent me my favourite out of the range. Lord Chambray is a fantastic brewery based in Malta. Look at that.
Look at that stuff. It looks appealing.
Neil Long's Instagram is entertaining, but frustrating because you just can't get your hands on the beers. It's kind of the way it works. Henry has come in with some absolute advice for the bank holiday. Get one done, you man. It's Friday. At Stuntman Steve 7. It's true. Jamie C, for Crummy. Crummy, have you been buying and selling on that beer trading website? I remember you reviewed an expensive beer and purchased 2 to keep one for selling on.
So I've not done anything with it yet. I'm sat in a little bit of a, got a little bit of a juxtaposition. I don't know what to do. So when I bought 2 of those unnecessarily expensive innocent gun beers. I kept one thinking, well, if they're worth that much now, give it another year and it'll be worth theoretically even more. But obviously, it comes a point where beer doesn't taste as good anymore. At that point, it's just a collector's piece, which it's probably coming close to. And that was always my intention. However, Innocent Gun then basically brewed the same beer again, but arguably slightly, well, they did it slightly cheaper than they did the first time round. They basically took a limited run, a very expensive way of making the beer and figured out a way to create the same thing at a more reasonable price. I have 2 bottles of that, which was nowhere near as much, but I've not reviewed one yet. And I'm just wondering, do I just drink that second one that I paid quite a bit for to pitch it against the new version? I don't know the answer. So it's never going to be worth that much. We're not talking about, well, in beer terms, it was expensive. In terms of investments, it's not a lot. So yeah, I'm kind of thinking of just drinking it and pitching it against the reincarnation of the same style. What do you think, guys? What should I do?
See, I've kept this beer for a while. The Triple Vision by Vocation.
Oh, yes.
And this is still brewed, isn't it? This is still in the supermarket.
Yeah.
This particular beer goes out of date goes out of best before on the 30th of August.
He's got 4 days.
So I want to do like a hop fade video. Triple IPA, hop dominant beer. I want to put. What I'll do is keep this and put them side by side. So it's really interesting to talk about ages of beers because it's not like the wine thing, is it?
No, they do not. There's exceptions, but generally speaking,
stouts and things like that from
barley
in terms
wine.
of taste though, or barley wines, yeah. But in terms of taste, especially triple IPA. I should have drunk this the day I bought it. Really.
Yeah, they don't mature particularly well. Hoppy beers, generally speaking.
No. So, but yeah. I've just never drunk a beer side by side. I bought, to be fair, I bought this beer. This particular beer was best before. Best before the end of June. I bought this in July, and I couldn't imagine how that would have been better. It was amazing. Queen King Knave by there you go, by Pressure Drop.
I just when you see a can and go, I reckon that's going to be really nice.
Yeah. It's just a nice looking can.
I'm not even normally swayed by artwork. Like some of the best beers are in terrible can designs, but I saw that one. I was like, they spent a bit too much time on that for it not to be good. But
it's just a really interesting thing because people talk a lot about hop fade, but if you don't buy beer, there's a lot of conditions where you would need to experience, or where you would have to experience hop fade. So you wouldn't necessarily buy, if you're buying from supermarkets, for instance, and you keep it in your fridge for 2 weeks, you're not going to get a lot of hop fade. But if you've got a badly stored beer out of its date, which is exactly what that beer is, it's a triple IPA. It should be in the fridge. It's room temperature. There's a method behind my madness with the hop fade video, but I think it'd be really interesting.
That would be good. I've got a similar video. Like this will be, I can say it because I was about to keep it secret and then realised that the ability to get the selection of beers I've got at the age I've got them would basically be impossible.
Yeah,
I've got a selection of European beers ranging from the terrible to the legendary. All of which are out of date, all of which predate the pandemic.
Blooming heck.
Yeah. They're old. So I've got basically at some point when I finally get around to it's one of those that I've got no pressure to do it because the older they get, the more interesting the video gets, theoretically.
Yeah.
So at some point soon, I'm going to do a video which style of European beer is actually the best to age. Because they're all quite different. So yeah, that should be interesting. That should be. Just from look, they might all be terrible. I might end up binning them. I don't know, but that'll be the fun of filming it because I don't know.
Well, yeah, that's the thing, isn't it? Until you pop the top of that can on that bottle, you just don't know.
To excuse the dog having a tantrum.
Look at this. This is a Lane. I feel like this was Nasda, the Lane West Coast IPA called Revelation.
I've not
Revelator?
seen it.
Revelator, sorry.
I've not been in Asda for a while, so it could be.
I bought this beer probably a month ago. It looks good.
Nice. It does look good. It does look good. Right, I'm going to break out a beer, and that will be my last one because at some point soon my food will arrive.
Right, I'll get some quick comments whilst Tom's cracking the beer out. Stuntman says, wrong button. Lol, I was going for the comments bar. James says, sorry, not an incident. No worries, mate. No worries. That's absolutely fine. Henry says, don't forget and StreamYard wants to behave itself. Thank you. There we go. Says, don't forget to check out the Crummy Beard. Yeah, don't forget to do that. He's top bloke. He knows his stuff. Stuntman says, too much caffeine and the finger was shaking. Henry says, exactly. That's it. Does help get the stream out there. Yeah, exactly that. Yeah. Stuntman says, one of the OG. If I'm one of, yeah, mate, you were honestly. I think you were one of the first mods. And there weren't many people. There was like 3 or 4. Brasco says, I smell disco. How many times a week do you say that, mate?
Stop sniffing him.
There we go.
James Snell says it's better than Foster's just about. I'll tell you what, it's got my vote. It's got my vote.
Going for a small but mighty to finish off.
You know what? I stood in Morrison's the other day. I looked at that on the shelf and I thought, I still don't know if there's a better dark beer in the supermarket than that one.
There's not. I can tell you right now. There's not.
No, I'm with you. I think I'm with you.
It's the best.
Stuntman says, like but can't share because I've not got the community tab. What does that mean?
You need to have more than 500 subs before you get in the community.
Okay. Gotcha. I did wonder if that was
share it to his own audience.
Right. No, well, thank you for trying, Stuntman. I appreciate it, mate. I really do. Jamie says, sounds like a plan. Absolutely, it does. Henry says, tickle that like and subscribe button. Amazing community. Yeah. It's weird. Like, it's weird to think that. Yeah, it's just weird to think that sort of 9 months on, we're doing this on a Friday night and there's 27 of you in and we're all having a good beer together and chatting about stuff. And yeah, we are a community, I suppose. It's insane. Henry 420 says, better than nothing. Stuntman. Disco says, I'm just about to do a similar video, Mark, with an accidentally aged 3-year-old Delirium Tremens against a new one. What? Oh, yeah. I literally, that's timely because I just done that video with Delirium Red. Really timely.
No, before I joined, when I was listening in while I was trying to get ready, you said you dropped my wife into that video. I've not seen the video yet. How did you get on with that beer?
I loved it.
That is good. I'm very pleased. It's fantastic.
I loved it.
It's not better than the regular because nothing is.
Yeah, but they're different beers, aren't they?
Nothing in life is better than regular Delirium. But
in terms of like fruit beer experience, that's one of the best fruit beers I've had. Yeah.
Dictionary Corner will tell you that basically Delirium is responsible for ruining most of my weekends every time I go in town because I can't resist.
Don't have
Right.
a pint of Delirium.
Every time it's don't have a pint of Delirium, and there's a pub in town that will serve me a pint of Delirium, and I can't not do it. Like, it's just this thing that I have. I'm like, it's just yeah.
No, I understand, mate. Yeah, no, I loved it. I loved it. I think the only better fruit beer I've had was the La Chouffe Red.
Oh, I've not had the La Chouffe Red.
That's really good. That is really, really good. I had it in France, and it was really unexpected. George Anderson says, I'm drinking Triple Vision right now, mate.
He's on it.
There
He's on
we
it
go.
with his big fish.
I'll be doing a hop fade beer aging video on that.
Nice.
Probably relatively soon, but it would depend. Like Tom says, I want to age it a bit. I want to let it really wear down. You never know. Maybe we could do a video together on something. I don't know. You never know. Oh, hold on. Paul's beer reviews. The handsome man that is Paul, says, I thought Triple Vision was quite easy drinking for Triple IPA. Verdant have just released their first, haven't they? Have they released? Because I know they did. That even Sharks Need Water, which was their IPA, their core. Then they done Whale Sharks, which was the double version. I hope they've put it under the Sharks title.
I think. You get that?
And so did Nanook.
That wasn't Nanook, but that was Kimmy. But yes,
Okay. You've actually got a dog called Kimmy. That's excellent.
Yeah, he was the first one.
I love it.
I had a sneaking plan to name all of my dogs after finished racing drivers. Unfortunately, the second one came in already with a name, and we felt too guilty to change it. So it didn't pan out. But maybe in the future that'll carry on. But
Jamie says my favourite style of Euro beer is German Alt. Well, Jamie, ironically, that New England IPA looks like a German Alt beer to me. So yeah, there we go. Henry says, be right back. Don't worry, Henry, you'll be back by the time I caught up, mate. Paul Goggins says, all about the glass. What, for Belgian beer? If you're talking about Belgian beer, I do agree with you. I do agree with you about the glass. I think there's just, especially, have you seen the Delirium stem? The Delirium glass, yeah. It's a beautiful glass.
It's just the stem goes so far off piece. You can't quite work out how the beer stands upright.
It's beautiful, isn't it?
And then you drink it and you can't work out how yours stood upright. Sorry,
it is an elephant's trunk.
The stem. Yeah, but it goes properly off kilter out to the side of the glass. Yeah.
It must be some heat treating.
I'm also struggling to work out how that is still the best supermarket dark beer, and it's on like a 4 for $3 offer.
Ridiculous, isn't it?
It's ridiculous.
And still shows you Thornbridge can absolutely churn out some amazing beer.
Sure.
Disco says, I've just drunk an 8-month-old, out-of-date Quantock Brewery Amarillo Pale Ale. Still sharp and tasty. Surprisingly enjoyed it.
There you go.
I'll tell you, the reason I say this, and it's a big thing in craft beer about the hop fade and stuff like that, is if I pull out, I know Duration have got it on their cans. Yeah. I don't know if the camera's going to show it, but can you see that little logo there? Hops fade fast.
Yeah.
And it's all about drinking the beer immediately and all the rest of it. It's just, I'm not doubting them. I'm not doubting them saying that. But Disco, you're saying there, and you know your way around the beer. The Amarillo Pale is still sharp and tasty, and it's 8 months out of date.
I've always had an issue with this. Has to be cold chain, has to be drank now thing.
Yeah,
it feels like, I don't know. It always feels like you made something exquisite, but it's only exquisite under the most specific circumstances. And unfortunately, the world doesn't exist in very specific circumstances. So, you know when someone. Okay, let me put it a different way. You know when someone makes a race car that is theoretically the fastest thing ever.
Yeah.
And then it gets put on the Nordschleifer and turns out it's a pile of.
Yeah.
It's a bit like that. It's like, yes, in the wind tunnel, it's great, but as in the brewery, fresh off the thing, it's great. But if you can't lag that out to the person's home and it's not allowed to be out of a fridge for more than 12 minutes, did you really make a good beer? I'm not sure.
My suspicions are that I think it's like a little badge of honor. I think it's another one of these like certification you pay to put it on your can things that makes you kind of like a bit more
maybe
on the in terms of being in the bottle shop and flipping around loads of cans and having a read. It's kind of one of those things that make you like sort of traders. Some tradies go on, which I'm not part of any of these things, like My Builder, Checker Trade.
Yeah.
Like, anyone can sign up to them. Like,
oh yeah, of course.
And anyone's friends can put fake reviews on. But it's kind of like a little badge of honor that kind of doesn't make you actually any better than anybody else, but it looks like it does. I'm kind of thinking it might be one of those.
That's true.
I don't know.
Right, fair one. I've got 5 minutes until my courier arrives.
Yeah, and I'm going to jump off when you do, mate, because I'm already in Meridian overdraft with my wife in terms of time. Stuntman says, Paul Goggins, sorry, dude, didn't mean to. Paul Goggins says, much love. Stuntman's laughing. Resco says, Disco, when are you going to do your beer? When are you going to your beer festival? Call it DBF.
Nice.
Henry says, just about to crack a Beavertown American Pale Ale coming in at 5. What one's that from Beavertown? American Pale from Beavertown. Yeah. I can't think of an American Pale that I've seen from Beavertown. Necklaw's a session IPA. No, I think there is one. It's not.
I'm racking my brain. It's not Gamma Ray, is it?
Is it Gamma? I think it might be. I think it is Gamma Ray. I think it is Gamma Ray. Yeah. I think it is Gamma Ray. Henry says 5-4. Sorry. MCB said curry is on the way. Do you warm up your plates in the oven before you eat a curry?
No, only because I kind of scarred for life by warming up plates by my grandmother because I burnt myself on them too many times, and now it's just I can't face it.
I find grandmothers would give you a plate. So this is my hand, and this is my grandmother. She'd go, "Don't touch that." And you'd be like, well, I've already got 30-degree burns, Nana.
Yeah, the skin is already ash, my dear. It's long gone.
Wouldn't touch that if I were you. Oh, cheers, Nan.
Yeah, pretty much that. So no, I daren't put my plates near an oven because I have no feeling in my fingers as a result.
Yeah. Who needs oven gloves when you've got no nerve endings? Henry says, nice choice, Mrs. MCB. Disco says, Rasco, every day's a beer festival at Disco Arms. Rasco says, name the date. Henry says, ha 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 ha. Paul says, oh, what ruby you gone for, guys?
Given it's Nepalese, I've gone for a Nepalese chili chicken, and MCB, given that she is afraid of spicy food, has gone for a butter chicken.
I'm not afraid. It is very good.
It is also very good. I can't deny it is fantastic.
Butter chicken is lovely. I can't. Yeah, Henry says Gamma Ray. Yeah, fair play. I can see the tab now. I just haven't bought it in a long time. James says my wife's in bed. Lol. Are you watching this in bed with your wife? James Snell's wife. Rasco Disco says it's the 26th of August. Rasco. Yeah, baby. Paul says Gamma Ray is an APA.
There you go.
Henry said the Gamma Ray is really nice, smooth, fruity, slightly bitter.
Fruity. Nice.
Fruity. Rasco says I'm getting the train over. All night alive. Oh, Rasco, please. Don't want to get. Henry says, who's doing an all night alive? Right, we're nearly at 8:15, guys. I haven't had dinner. Crummy is having his dinner delivered.
I am. My dog's having an absolute marmar, so I'm going to go and sort it out as well.
What's up?
If by some weird quirk of fate you aren't subscribed to the Crummy Beard, please go and check him out. He's a lovely guy, and he knows he loves indulgent things. So, like all of us, he's one of us. And equally, if you've not subscribed to my channel, I appreciate it if you would.
That way. He's over there.
Yeah, we're dangerously close to 500.
There you go. Get him over the limit. Get him over, and then he can post community posts, and then you'll never ever stop hearing from him again.
Yes.
Yeah.
It might be the best and worst thing you ever do. I hope you have a lovely bank holiday. My wife's just coming away. Dinner's ready. I hope you have a lovely bank holiday. Check out your local beer festivals.
Whose wife?
Near you. My wife. But please check out your local beer festivals. There will be one near you, held by probably a pub or a community group. Go and support it. Have a fantastic, fantastic bank holiday. And I will see you probably in a week's time. Cheers.
Cheers, everyone. Just left me on. He just left. He's left, but he's not actually ended the stream. We can now take over and do all sorts of terrible things. Shall I let him know? Shall I ring him? What do you reckon, people? Shall we ring him and say, Mark,